Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Guthix Rest, episode number 7. This week, we're going to be talking about Bounty Hunter, and then afterwards, we're going to talk about Minigames and do a little ranking there. Because this week's update, there wasn't a whole lot going on.
At least not for us.
Yeah, not for us. As always, you're joined by a guy named Sparre and my co-host,
Birdfacts. Me.
What have you been up to this week?
Zolra. Snake.
How's that going?
Death. Kill.
Uh-huh.
Let me just check out my Temple OSRS here. Go to my PVM overview. Yeah, that's a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, what is this period? Let's just put like week. Let's see. EHB has gone up by 20 hours. That's cool.
Nice.
Past week alone has been 520 Zolra. If I give it like another week or so, it's like, 940 Zolra. I have been grinding this boss. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Fucking killing the shit out of it. And let me tell you, for the first 500 or so kills, I don't remember when things changed. It was miserable. It was awful. I wanted to perish. I got the cheeky magic fang at like 23 KC, what feels like ages ago. I don't even remember when that was now. And then went dry for like, I think almost 600 kills.
Yeah, I saw the screenshots and posts in Discord, and the just absolute despair that accompanied them.
Yeah, because after going dry for like 600 kills,
it feels bad.
I got an Onyx.
Yeah.
And then I got an
Onyx. And you don't need an Onyx.
And then I got an Onyx.
And you don't need an Onyx.
And then I got an Onyx. Okay, that's not actually true. The last one came after the SERP, I think. I literally have lost track of how many Onyxes I got.
I didn't know you got that many. I thought it was only 3.
No, it is 4 in total.
Jeez.
I have the 3 that I will need to make all of my Zenites. So, cool, I guess, but I can't do that for a while. And then I have an extra one that I'm probably just going to use to make a Berserker necklace, because I have full obby, which was insane that I got full obby. I got it while I was trying to get a fucking obby shield, and I got every single piece of the obsidian armor set and every other item that those fuckers drop, and I still never got the obby shield. I had to go buy it for the whatever clue step that was. Like, it wasn't a problem at that point, but it was insane that happened, you know? Just crazy. There's been some crazy luck on this account. I've done a lot of clues because of Zolra. Gotten a lot of elites, couple masters. I've had to drop like 2 because I keep getting this stupid Circle step. And I'm not gonna go get Circle right now. That's like I got a Dagonoth task.
There's a good amount of RNG in getting that too, so.
I mean, it's like 1 in 128, but, you know, I'm really only going to do DKs on task.
It's a lot of DKs, though.
Yeah. I don't know, it's whatever. I have, speaking of Zenites that I will eventually make, I got the Torture ornament kit. So,
yeah, that's a pretty good looking ornament kit.
It's the most unique of them. I think the bracelets. What's the bracelets?
The Tormented bracelet?
Yeah, Tormented bracelet. I like the bracelet kit the best because you just get 2 of them.
Yeah, I do like that.
The Anguish one's also okay. I think it's the most boring of the Zenite kits.
Yeah, I agree.
It looks cool, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of boring.
Yeah. The Obby necklace kit looks pretty nice.
Yeah, that one looks nice. I don't have it, unfortunately. But
yeah, the Berserker necklace, that's what it's called.
But yeah, I'm excited to, now that I have 99 range, I was like, man, maybe I should just like destroy the other combat stats, and now I can just go sit at Nightmare Zone with full obby, a Berserker necklace, an obby split sword, and just hit things.
Yeah, finish out the melees, and then when you're done with that, you can go barrage monkeys.
I'm not going to do
for,
that.
99 mage.
I'm just going to get 99 mage naturally. I don't personally see a point in absolutely grinding the shit out of that one. Like, maybe if I was a main, sure, I can just spend the money for it. But I see no reason wasting my supplies to just get 99 mage when I'll just get it through bursting or rather barraging tasks anyways.
That's fair, but yeah, you do get more max hits with Trident when you do that.
Yeah, you get more and more max hits if you have a heart.
That's true.
And you know what you need to do to get one of those? Probably a lot of barrage tasks.
Yeah.
So
anything else interesting happened this week for you?
Nope. Oh, I guess I can.
Unfortunate.
I guess I can, as an addendum to the Zulrah thing, I almost forgot about it because it's such a nothing drop. I got the jar in the middle of that whole dry streak. So technically it wasn't like a completely dry streak, but I was still mad. That's a completely worthless
it's not what you
drop.
want.
Like, wow.
Like, it's almost as rare as a pet.
Yeah, it's 1 in 3,000 as opposed to 1 in 4,000 for the pet. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
Epic. Honestly, if I was a main, I'd be even more pissed off. At least
because it's worthless.
Yeah, it's literally worthless. At least for me, like, I can put it in my house
clogger,
and it looks cooler than the Kraken display that I had. That I have 2 of. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right, actually. My pet for this month. Hope you're ready to edit that clap out.
Nope, I won't.
It, like, peaked the fucking...
Don't worry, I peaked last week's episode, and all the effects that I put on, it's fine.
Yeah, my mic's generally kind of quiet.
I put, like, a compressor and stuff, so...
But yeah, I got Kraken Pet.
Yes,
you did. One
I completely
Kraken
forgot
pass,
that was this week.
Like, amidst the Zulrah grind. I don't even know if that was like this week anymore. It's like such a blur. Everything has just been Zulrah. I might have talked about this last week. Like, I literally have no idea.
You might have. I don't know.
I
did the editing for the episode 2 days ago. But I did it at like 1 a.m, which is why you guys got an uncensored version, because I was tired as hell and I didn't want to keep staying up for like another half hour. By the time I got done, it was like 2:30 in the morning, and I had to be up at 8.
Okay,
so I was just like, enjoy the uncensored episode.
I got Kraken Pet on the 16th of May, so I think that was the day before we recorded last episode. So I probably talked about that last episode, and I'm just gloating about it again. Even though I'm not really gloating about it, I will literally never use that pet.
It was one of my first pets, but I don't use it because it's just like, he's just a little guy, but not in like a really cute way. Yeah. Not in the way that I want to like show off.
Like, it's fine. It's not a bad pet. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
Small, boring. Nothing against it. Nothing for it though. But yeah, the funniest part about that, also might have talked about it on last week's episode, but I don't recall, is I still don't have a tentacle. I have every single drop from that boss except for tentacle. I got the filled trident before I got the tentacle, and the filled trident's like, I think, like 1 in 512, and the tentacle's like 1 in 400, I want to say. So it's not like that
something
much
like
rarer.
That.
But
yeah. I mean, it's not like you're doing any content where you really want to use the tentacle right now.
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I don't think you've sent any more Tob, so...
No. Yeah, because right now, the grind set is get blowpipe, basically just off principle at this point. I don't really need it, but I just kind of want it at this point to just have it done. Just be done. Because at this point, if I get blowpipe, I could just never return to Zulrah, and I'd be fine.
Yeah. I mean, you might eventually run out of scales, but
I could, if I really wanted to, I could just camp eels, because it's like
That's
the
true.
easiest AFK thing in the world.
It's pretty slow for scales, though, isn't it?
It's not that bad. It's really slow fishing XP, but as far as scales are concerned, it's not that bad. And it's like super, super chill. So
yeah, I did a good amount of it.
Whenever
Fun fact,
Twitch
Mudkip
Prime membership
are...
comes around, yeah, I was actually watching his UIM series just to have noise playing. I literally had never watched any of his videos up until that point. And the
I
first
like his series.
First episode, I was like, man, this guy's got kind of nerd emoji voice. But as I kept watching, I was like, okay, no, never mind. It was just kind of an immediate first impression of his voice. It actually is just, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. And yeah, what I was gonna say though is he used
to and probably still does on 340.
Yeah,
eels.
I've seen him a few times there. AFKing eels on 340.
Well. I haven't seen him while I've been doing Zulrah, so he might just not have membership on the Ultimate right now because I think he's doing a lot of group iron.
Yeah, him and Spook Dog, his girlfriend, girlfriend. I don't know. They've been doing group iron stuff, and he recently maxed on that.
Oh, it must be awesome to like actually have an active group mate.
You got one of them.
I'm sorry, Julian, if you're listening. I mean, listen, I've gone in very deep, right? I'm significantly past where Julian is, and his attempts to help me are not very helpful. And if I want to do stuff with him, I'm like not getting anything. So it's in this weird limbo right now. And he doesn't have like a whole ton of time. Well, he has plenty of time to play, but he does other stuff, right? He's just a fucking no life like me, where as soon as I get home, I'm like, all right, time to play some RuneScape. This is my favorite game of all time. I am so excited to kill Zulrah. You know, like
I'm nearly at 5,000 hours in this game.
Yeah, I'd have to go through. I think I'm getting dangerously close to passing the amount of hours on my main at this point. I want to say it's like 135 days on my main. And I'm at 112 on this account. So I have been cranking time into this account.
Yeah, I'm at just under 200 days. Yeah, so just Zulrah and more Zulrah for you all week. A little bit of Kraken.
Yeah, I think there was a there was a little bit of Slayer. I think I did like a Black Demon's task at Gorillas, and then I got a new task, and I think it was a Konar task for Dust Devils in the Smoke Dungeon, which is fine because there's a multi-area in the Smoke Dungeon. So I did that. I got like 3 superiors, which was cool, but none of them dropped like anything, so that was also cool. But
yeah,
better than not getting superiors. And then I went to Duradel, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to unblock Greater Demons so that maybe someday I'll get a Greater Demons task and I can do Zami. And then he gave me a Greater Demons task because fucking of course he did. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll look up some of the like weird sweaty methods for Zami, for Krill. And I found myself looking at the Altar Door method, which looks fairly tame, all things considered.
Yeah.
But
I've done a little bit of that. It's kind of hard to get into. It's not hard, but like figuring out the rhythm is kind of annoying.
It looks pretty straightforward. Obviously, I'll figure out, exactly how it works once I get there. But I think the only thing I'll struggle with is getting the first KC when I first enter the room. But it looks like, from what I was looking at, there's like some decent strategies for like, get him to walk here, then tank 1 hit, and as soon as you tank that hit, click altar, and then you're in cycle.
I wasn't doing any of that, so maybe that would help.
Yeah, it looks like there's some decent strategies to get into or get back into cycle for that. So, I was excited to try that, and then the guide was like, "Yeah, you should bring blowpipe so that you can kill the mage minion and like get some healing out of it." And I was like, I can't fucking escape this item. And I did the DPS calc. Bofa is actually better against the mage minion. But even still, the blowpipe heals, I wouldn't be using my spec energy anywhere else. I might as well bring it.
Yeah, because like, you're bringing Bofa for dealing with Zami, so you're not specking there. You don't have SGS or anything to heal with that, and might as well.
Yeah. And that's a lot of what I've noticed where blowpipe's probably going to come in handy for me, is just like places where it's like it's kind of nice to have the spec, because on large I don't really have any other like great specs right now, and it's marginally faster than both at shamans. So some people would tell me that it's not worth grinding the blowpipe out just to go do shamans, but it's not really about just going and doing shamans. It's about progressing the account overall. So I'm not really that concerned with it. And someday I'll need it for Inferno. So I want it. Give it to me. I don't remember what tangent we just went on.
Talking about our weeks.
Zammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now I'm just in deadlock of just get the blowpipe, idiot.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yeah, eventually you'll want it, so if you're fine with grinding that out, busting it out in one long grind, then yeah.
It's really just not the place I thought that I would like go a million kills at. Like on the main, I went back and looked, and I did like 190 KC and got a Magic Fang and 2 Tan's Fangs. And I'm like, cool.
Well, it's kind of like
awesome.
The classic place that Ironmen just go dry.
And that, like, for no perceivable reason. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's one of those bosses where it's like, it feels like it should just shit out uniques pretty commonly because there's 4 of them. And on average, it's like 1 in 128 to see any single one of them. Right?
Yeah, but the problem is you never see the one you actually need.
Well, apparently you just don't see any of them if you're me for like 500 kills. That was the real problem. That's why I was like going insane. Like, now I'm feeling better because I actually like got a bunch of onyxes, and like, sure, it could be better, but at least I saw something. And then once I got the Serp, I was like, okay, now I'm popping off. I don't take venom damage anymore. This shit slaps.
Yeah, the Serp is huge for you.
Yeah,
and it's your best melee helmet.
Yeah. Jaw's on the list of things to get, but I think I've done like 600, almost 700 kills at Basilisks with no Jaw. So a little cringe, but not to rate. Those are all on task, obviously, but.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you've been up to?
Oh, God, I don't think so. I think I can shut the fuck up finally. Just at this point, chilling, cutting some mahogany trees, wearing an untrimmed runecrafting cape, and banking some construction XP.
Nice. I've had quite an eventful week myself. The dang big shark, that the bane of my existence. Actually no. I've already started talking about it. The big shark, the bane of my existence. I finally got it.
Silly boy.
Just over 4 times the rate for it. I thought it was just gonna be a quick in and out, get the big shark, maybe I go like a little dry on it. But I got it, so that's cool. Then I was able to decide to move on to other fishing adventures. So I started going for the big bass, and that was my grind. And I got that just before we actually started recording the podcast.
Okay, I was like
literally 5 minutes.
That's actually like awful. Catching bass is the worst.
It's really bad. I had to set up my bank with bank fillers so I can just deposit my inventory without losing my net or my fish barrel. But I only went 1.5 times the rate. So
honestly, probably slightly better for the shark than the bass, because
no, the bass was so much faster.
Well, yeah, I'm saying like you're probably better off getting the bass quick than the shark, because at least with the shark, like you got a bunch of sharks, whereas going for the bass, you just get like a bunch of random garbage.
Yeah,
because
I did a loot from big bass afterwards. In 1,557 bass, I also caught like 3,000 mackerel, 2,268 cod, 257 oysters, like 300 and something boots, 200 gloves, 300 seaweed, and 70 caskets. It's just a bunch of trash.
So awful.
The whole value of it was 230k, and I was like, cool. I'm glad I wasted my time on that. But now I have all the big fish in my collection log, and that's huge. Don't ever have to worry about that again. Can just focus on getting, the best fishing XP I can now. So I might go do some, tick manipulating at, barbarian fishing. Or who are we kidding? I'm not going to do that, because I'm lazy. I'll probably just do regular. I'll probably do regular barbarian fishing.
If anybody's going to do that, it's going to be me. I'm going to be the guy to just be a weirdo. I'm going to do some tick manip garbage. But I don't even know if I'd do it for fishing, man. Fishing's one of those skills where if I'm going to train it, I don't care. Click on fishing spot.
I don't know. I've done some tick manipulation lately. Like I did during bingo, tick manipulating on teaks, and that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, 2 tick teaks is fine. I've done tick manip at sandstone, at teaks, at chins.
I tried sandstone. I didn't like it. I did gem mining though, and that was pretty nice.
Oh yeah, I've done gem mining too. I've done caramel cooking, tick manip, but
that's
all the
really easy. Yeah.
I haven't done any of the weird, crazy stuff. The one thing that still blows my mind is the 1.5 tick mahogany or whatever on Fossil Island.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Yeah. I've never looked it up. I'm sure if I did, I'd probably understand it, but I've just never bothered.
It's just if you move when you do the tick manipulate action and click on the tree, it does 2 attempts to cut the tree rather than 1, is my understanding.
Interesting.
And for some reason you can only do it on the trees that you grow or something. I don't exactly know why it works the way it does, but I don't know. I haven't tried it because it seems a little too sweaty for me.
I might try it. I like going insano mode.
But I also got my Missouri crafting kit.
Finally, dude.
Right after we finished recording last week. I sent one raid by myself, got all the way to P3 Wardens, went to go do the first set of skulls, and I misclicked, and I died because it was insanity. I was just God dang it. Actually, no, sorry, it was the second set of skulls. I got the first one fine. It was the second set that killed me.
Have you done the thing where, do you have the tile markers for the sides of the arena?
I do.
If you fuck up, you can walk over there, and then as soon as they explode, just click the middle of the arena?
Oh, no. I have the skull skip tiles, but
I don't know if they're the same, but it is skull skipping, right? All you have to do is stand to the side, right? And you don't even need to click the skull. I did a little bit of practicing with it. I personally don't like clicking the skull because I don't like attacking it. Just as soon as you see them explode, just click the ground.
That's fair.
It's a 0.6 second window. You can hit it. It's not that hard.
The problem is I messed up on the second to last skull, so I just had no time.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't fuck up at that point.
I clicked to the side of it rather than on it, so by the time I corrected myself, I was already dead because I had insanity on. And you have a very tight window to do that. But
just don't fuck up in the middle of the sequence. Skill issue,
it's true.
I guess.
It was a skill issue, but then Archelon helped me, and we did it first try. Thanks again, Archie.
Insanity is so much more free in teams.
It really is.
You just get so much time for skulls. It's actually crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought
Solos
teams
was a challenge.
I thought teams was going to be insano mode because I was expecting
it was gonna be
you to have the same amount of time. Everybody had to be fucking on it to get skulls. Now you don't get forever time, but it's way more lenient than solos.
I thought it was going to be you get half the time that you get in solos, therefore each side needs to do it tick perfect. Nope. You get plenty of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Archie helped me, and then since then I've been doing a ton of raids. And
that were me, honestly.
I saw a purple in a back-to-back. Actually, we saw a ward which was free for all, but then back-to-back after that, maybe it wasn't straight back-to-back, but later on we saw a shadow. someone in my clan, Benjamin, as well as Korgster, I believe is his name. We got a 3-way shadow split, so I more than doubled my bank value. I had about 415 mil and
took you long enough.
Got a 433 mil split. So I was absolutely popping off when I got that. I'm not used to having... Sorry, it was 447 mil. Not used to having this much money. So I immediately spent 400 mil of it and bought Herblore supplies all the way to 99.
Dude, I swear you single-handedly drove the price of Toadflaxes up or something. Because I was doing Zora, right? And Zora has a Toadflax drop. And it didn't used to trigger my loot value notification, but now it does.
That's so funny. Yeah, I bought 45,000 Toadflax potions.
I'm sure it probably wasn't, literally just you, but I like to imagine that it was.
Yeah. Or, sorry, I wasn't able to quite buy all the potions. I know I bought all the secondaries, but I have them all in my bank now, and I'm just working on that. But it should only be 50-ish mil after I sell everything back once I've made the potions. So not terrible.
What do you mean, bro? Just keep the brews. You'll use them.
I also bought myself a Sang, a fighter torso, or not fighter torso.
Yeah,
Bandos chestplate.
He bought his fighter torso, boys. Finally, account services. Let's go.
I bought Prims and a jaw for the Nezi face guard because face guard plus Prims is a max hit against the core when you DDS. And I think I already said I bought a Sang, right? Yeah. Sang's been a weapon for sure. Hasn't been healing me like I was hoping it would, but it's a max hit, so that's cool. And it's way less obnoxious to charge. It's just a bunch of blood runes instead of having to remember all the runes and the Zora scales for the regular Trident of the Swamp.
It's just 1 death, 1 cosmic, 5 fire, and a scale, man.
Is it cosmic? I don't think it's cosmic.
Chaos. I meant to say chaos, but the sea runes just mixed up, I guess.
I don't know. I can never remember.
That's the enchanted one, actually, as the cosmic rune version.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It every time you attack, it enchants the thing that you attack.
Yo, let's go.
It's pretty awesome.
But yeah, no, I've been absolutely pogged about that. Got a Masori Chap split this morning, about 10 mil each. Haven't seen anything else. We had a bunch of raids where we had a 25% chance to see something. We just didn't get anything, so
sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah,
raids have been a ton of fun.
I didn't mention it, but there was a minuscule amount of Chambers of Xeric thrown into all the Zora stuff. Yeah. Literally, it's just been a blur, but nothing interesting happened, so.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I've been having a great week now. I have a ton of Herblore XP I need to get through, about 7 million XP worth.
I love bank standing.
Yeah, from there,
a fun skill.
I might do construction next, because those will be the 2 most expensive of the buyables done.
Construction also just fucks. Cape's just so good.
Yeah, the cape's really good. So once I'm done with that, I think I'll just, I should be able to spend whatever money's left over on gear for the most part. I have a little bit of fletching left to do. I'm only 88, almost 89 smithing, but I think smithing might be the last skill I do. Yeah, that's been my week.
Pretty epic.
Pretty epic. Almost as epic as this week's game update.
Wow. It's so cool. I certainly will be participating in this content.
The update this week isn't our forte. It's Bounty Hunter. And unlike LMS,
Bounty Hunter,
you have to risk.
But again.
Yeah, this is what, the fourth time Bounty Hunter?
Third or fourth, I don't remember.
Yeah. You actually have to risk your gear, so I'm not super incentivized to do it.
Yeah, it's literally
especially Ironman.
Yeah, to just kind of, for anyone that doesn't understand how Bounty Hunter works, real big overhead here. What happens is you go to this new place called the
Damon's Crater.
Yeah, wow, I thought it was Damien's Crater. It's just Diamond's Crater. Daimon. Interesting placement of that I.
Isn't that Damon?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it?
I don't know.
Probably. Anyways, you go to this crater. It's basically just like an island that's kind of like the wilderness, except it looks different.
Yeah, it's broken up into thirds.
Yeah, and basically you spawn in this little middle area that's got just like, you know, a bank, a pool, like a coffer that you have to put money in to be able to participate in the minigame, in order to ensure that you like actually risk anything and you're not just literally ragging. And then there's also a loot chest for if you have loot keys, and yeah, the points trader. Basically, you enter a little thing. You get teleported out into one of the thirds of the map, and then you just get assigned a target, and you can kill them, or you can kill anyone else in your range, like your combat bracket,
within 5 levels of you,
or 10 or 15 if you so choose. You can actually change it.
Yeah. But if you're attacking someone that's not your target, they have to be within 5.
Yes.
Always.
Correct. Which has been a little bit of a problem, being able to go rogue.
Have you seen some...
Apparently, a lot of PKers are currently taking issue with people literally just camping by the spawn points and someone showing up, and they'll just delete them as quickly as they can. Just like double Void Waker or something. And it's apparently just really obnoxious.
Yeah, because in Bounty Hunter, you cannot use overheads except for Smite. So there's no way to like protect yourself against that besides just eating over 100.
Yeah.
You know?
It's apparently really obnoxious and a little frustrating. Which is not particularly surprising, that there are going to be some annoyances with this. I've heard good things overall, that it's like pretty fun, that it's going the right direction, but it probably could use some tuning. Basically what differentiates this from regular PvP, like Sparre said, is you're not allowed to use overheads, so it makes the fights a lot riskier, and it guarantees that, you know, somebody won't just like start praying against your attack type in the middle of your fight if you're trying to do like honor fights. And when you kill your target, you get bounty hunter points. And you also get an emblem that when you have the emblem in your inventory and you kill another one of your targets, it tiers up. And then eventually you can go all the way up to tier 10 and trade it in for points. And also kill streaks give you points. And there's a bunch of little things that give you points that can be used to spend on some unique stuff in the bounty hunter shop, including new armor sets, some weapon imbues that can only be used in Bounty Hunter, and some fun ornament kits, and XP if you are insane.
And to get in a little bit more depth, there's a couple extra restrictions when you're doing Bounty Hunter. If you are in the Bounty Hunter area, you cannot teleport out. The only way to leave is via the lobby in the center. So you have to go through the door, kind of like at Ferox Enclave. Except, just keep in mind, like, when you enter into Bounty Hunter, you are teleported to the outer edge, so you have to run all the way back to the middle if you want to leave. You can't teleport out. Which is also why that people just camping spawns and specking people out immediately is obnoxious, because you can't, like, get specced once and be like, this is lame, and just tab out. Yeah. Also, no binding spells, including freezes. So this is, you know, Edgeville style honor PKing, right? There's no DDing, there's no overheads, it forces you to honor fight. So it's going to be Edgeville like Venge style PKing. And also for the emblems, if you're holding on to the emblems as they rank up, each kill you get, I think, is worth more points than if you weren't holding an emblem.
So like if you if you hold on to a tier 10 emblem, I think every kill starts being worth like 18 points or something.
Yeah, and that's just like an incentive.
And you can trade in the emblem for 56 if you'd rather.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can keep holding on to it and getting 18 points per kill. So, interesting way of trying to get people to risk emblems and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious to see what the perception of this minigame is given like a week or two, as people begin to figure out, how to get the most points, how to abuse the system, because I'm sure people will figure out how to. It's always been Bounty Hunter's problem, is that people try to abuse it and point boost and whatever. And I'm interested to see how they go about changing things in order to prevent boosting, because that's what they've always done, and to the point of where Bounty Hunter is no longer fun because they just made it unfun for players because they don't want people boosting it.
I think it being in the crater kind of makes it hard to boost because it's such a small area. You can't just be anywhere in the wilderness, which I think was the problem.
That was part of the problem, but
because you could just hide off in fucking Narnia.
I mean, to some degree, you can still hide off in like Narnia, but not like insane Narnia. And another part of what makes it a lot better is that it's kind of its own little economy. The Bounty Hunter points are used primarily to buy stuff that only works in Bounty Hunter. There are a couple
Bounty Hunter
exceptions to that, including like blighted stuff, the cosmetics. But on large, I doubt that those are going to hold a ton of value, and mostly people are going to be, like, most of the people actually engaging with Bounty Hunter are going to be interested in getting the Bounty Hunter specific murder items because they just want to play the minigame and have fun. I'm not really sure what I was about to say I'm not really sure what the money out is, but I guess just buying more of the Bounty Hunter items and just killing people because you get their stuff when you kill people. Because it's just PKing.
When you enter in, depending on your combat bracket, you have to give a minimum deposit fee. So for like main accounts, it's going to be 150k, and for like med levels, it's going to be anywhere between 30 and 100k. So you're going to be guaranteed at least that much GP plus whatever gear they have, and I think most people are skull up for it, so you'll receive their most valuable items.
It always depends, right? Because sculling in edge style PKing is always like, I'm running out and I'm not really risking much, so I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go skull up on people and tell them to eat shit. Whereas some people, are gonna pull up in full Torba with like a Vesta's longsword and shit. Those people aren't gonna want to skull.
I think most people do skull though.
Yeah, for the most part, it seemed like most people are willing to skull up. They just don't bring a whole ton.
It's sort of the etiquette.
Don't bring a whole ton in gear. And just expect to win, and just win instead of losing your stuff. That's how you make money. I, thankfully, am not super interested in any of the ornament kits from this.
The fighter torso one looks pretty cool, and
I'm not a big fan of it.
That's fair. I'm probably gonna get the if I do Bounty Hunter, I said do. If I do Bounty Hunter, I'll probably get the Dragon Dagger ornament kit, because then I can flex on people when we're doing Toa.
I will literally be standing in the same spot as you, and I will not see it.
True. But,
I also think it's just such a minimal difference. I don't know. I don't really like any of the like corrupted kits. The only one I could see myself using is maybe the Warhammer one, but it's not really my aesthetic. The only one that I think is like kind of cool is the armadillo. What is it? Big crossbow ballista.
Yeah.
The armadillo ballista looks kind of cool, but I would never use a ballista, so
yeah,
it would just be a novelty.
I kind of wish that we got like the armadillo armor kit and Bandos armor kits, because those look sick.
The armor one's never going to come to the game now that Masori's in the game. No one cares.
Yeah,
I think it would look sick.
Armadillo's that item that only exists to become Masori later on.
Yeah, which pisses me off, man. I'm still so upset. Like, I want them to add an ornament kit for the Masori helm that just gives it a beak. Give me a beak.
Wear Masori. Or not Masori, Armadillo, and not feel bad about it.
I mean, it's like I always say, if I get to the point where I have full Torva and full Masori, I'm probably going to continue wearing Armor Helm, and I'm going to continue wearing Face Guard, because I just think they look cooler. I just don't care.
Face Guard looks pretty sick.
Face Guard is so much cooler than the fucking Torva Helm.
Yeah.
Torva Helm is kind of lame, in my opinion. I don't mind the chest piece and the legs, but I really don't like the helmet. I think it looks stupid.
I think the whole thing, I don't know, looks bulky and weird. It doesn't look like it makes you look like a villain, and not in like a good way, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just, every time I talk about the endgame armor sets, I'm always just reminded how there's an alternate universe where the community picked the alternate version of Masori that actually had a beak. But
yeah,
the everything else about the version that had a beak was way more lame looking, and then the one that we actually got is way cooler. Yeah. But if they just like put the beak part on what we got currently and just like left it all to be like, because like the original, we got a choice between like A or B, and A was like mostly the same but had a beak, and instead of like the green like alligator hide, instead you had like kind of mummy tan bandages, which was definitely more lame than the like alligator hide look. I definitely like the alligator hide look more. But I mean, obviously, I just want the beak part, because I like birds and I miss it. It's fucked up, man.
Yeah, well, yeah. We can't go, I mean, we could go back, but they're probably never going to go back on that.
Just give me an ornament kit. I just want to be, that's all I want. I want to be a bird.
You got to get Masori first.
I don't care.
And then you can complain.
I'm complaining right now.
You know what I'm going to complain about? The experience scaling and rates nerf.
I mean, this was bound to happen. Honestly, the only part I have to complain about is just how long it took. But go ahead.
Yeah, so there was some other changes that don't really matter, just some bug fixes. But they also changed so that if you are attacking things that have really high hit points, it doesn't scale as high in how much XP you get. So mobs that have high stats, mostly bosses, have an XP multiplier. And so if you're doing like TOA and you have a lot of people in your raid and you have high path levels, you get like these huge XP drops. Especially at Zabak, where you can Zerite crossbow spec. You would get, several thousand XP in attack, but now all of that is capped at I want to say it's like 2,000 XP or something.
I have no idea.
I
thought it was just reduced.
Maybe it's just reduced. I thought I saw.
Oh no, it says we're introducing a hard cap on how much XP can scale with hit points.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's like some math involved. It's not like I imagine it's a somewhat dynamic cap,
NPCs stop scaling with HP after 2,000 HP. That's at the changelog at the very top.
Nice. Because they couldn't be bothered to clarify it in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs that they wrote about it initially.
Yeah. So now, you can still do it. You just won't get the over 1,000,000 XP an hour they were getting before.
Yeah.
And I mean, I figured this might happen at some point, but it's been in the game for so long. I thought they were just going to leave it.
It's just insane how long it took them to address this, honestly. Like, it was like week 1 or 2 of TOA being out, and people were like, look, it's crazy. You can just fuck up Zabac.
They said it's because they're worried about, like, people have set up, like, services for it, so it's accessible to do now. But,
sure.
like, I don't know.
Whatever, man.
We
should cap the Inferno because there's services for that. Should make it so that you can only enter the Inferno once a day.
It's just annoying. Most players weren't going to abuse this, and if you're willing to get, 8 people together to go kill Zabac for, 13 hours or whatever to get 99 range, then sure. Combat XP is already so fast, especially range where you can chin,
Yeah.
I figured it would.
I mean, I think people did melee training at Zabac too.
Yeah, there was a like Crystal Halberd method that I saw with red Karis specs.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever. Honestly, the one that I think is more interesting is the Cure Me spell thing. Do you know?
Yeah,
do you actually know about this? Have you seen the actual?
I haven't seen this method. Have you?
What you would do is in the Night at the Theater quest, you have to go to that cave where there's like the baby Nilos.
Yeah.
And they attack you and they can venom you.
Mm-hmm.
So what you can do is you could like have 2 accounts, and you'd have one standing in like or somewhere near the other, like they need to be right next to each other, and you just have them both being attacked by I think only just one of these Nilos, maybe multiple, I don't know. But what you do is you just cast Cure Me, a Cure Group, Cure Me, Cure Group, Cure Me, Cure Group, Cure Me, Cure Group. And you could just do each of those, just forever, constantly.
And you'd get just a shit ton of
and you just
magic
get
XP?
So much XP. Because you could just spam them, like an insane amount.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I saw a video of it. It's
so now it's limited to 1 per game tick.
Which
is still fast, but
yeah.
I assume they were doing it as fast as they can click.
Yeah, they just fucking went insane. Like, I don't know exactly how the mechanics worked out, how exactly you could be able to cast it that many times in a row, but you could. And
probably similar to how you can do darts as fast as you can click it.
I imagine it also probably had something to do with the fact that I think you were getting venomed, and you have to cure it from venom to poison and then poison to nothing. So probably something along those lines. So you could just go insano mode. It was really interesting, honestly. I saw a couple videos of it, and I was like, huh, interesting. But that one also, it's like, yeah, it's fine. It's probably whatever that it's gone. There's something else I wanted to talk about. They, as far as I can tell, let me Control F this real quick. Yeah, so this is completely not in the patch notes at all. They changed the MSBI.
Yeah, it has a cool little star animation on it.
Yeah, it's got like how the magic trees have the little stars falling off of them. Now, towards the back of the where you'd actually like hold it, it looks like the little stars are like kind of gliding out towards you from the bowstring. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks very neat.
It's kind of weird looking. I'm not sure how much exactly I like it, but I'm fine with it.
Have you held one in game yet?
I did earlier. I can also do it right now because I'm walking to a bank. Let me take a look.
I think it looks good.
Let me take a little look-see here. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, the bank icon's different too. It's got little sparkles on it. Oh, yeah. I mean, the way it just kind of like there's a line that it just stops in is jarring, just like it is on magic trees.
That's fair. I don't know. When you're zoomed out, you don't really notice.
Yeah, but from far enough away, it's kind of whatever. Interesting.
Yeah, if I grab some arrows and start shooting this rat, I don't know. I think it looks good when you're like attacking with it and stuff.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that it's one of those completely unannounced, unpolled cosmetic changes. And they in the polling charter, they specifically stated they're not going to be polling cosmetic changes anymore. So it's not like this is unprecedented ground. But it's always just weird when it happens, you know?
Yeah, and you're just not expecting it, you know?
It's funny because I had actually, both times they asked what items they want ornament kits for from Bounty Hunter, both times I answered Magic Shortbow.
Well, here you
and
go.
Now there's kind of one. So cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, something I appreciate is they have like this big graphic of all the stats for the Bounty Hunter specific armor sets, the Vestas, the Statius, the Morgans, Zuriels, all that. I love that the Vestas set, you've got the Vestas chain body, the Vestas plate skirt, and the Vestas lack of headwear, parentheses, there's no helmet. And it has an everything bonus of 0.
Amazing. I didn't even notice that. What's interesting is there's now 2 Vestas longswords in this game.
Are they different VLSs? I think they're the same.
They're different. They have the same stats, but they function differently on death. So one of them, you like charge with a shit ton of money, and when you die, the person gets the money. The other one, the person gets your sword. If it's
true?
like lost on death.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you 100% positive about this?
I think so.
Old
if
VLS,
it's not protected.
Old VLS was charged with money too.
Yeah.
And the new one is as well.
That's a longsword. Is the blighted one? Yeah, the blighted one. Charge it with 50 mil, and then yeah, the sword is lost on death and drops 50 mil coins if not one of your protected items.
Weird.
The other one you charge with 50 mil and you only lose the mil.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's strictly speaking worse, but the other one, you know, you can buy it from the GE. I think, right?
Yeah, you can buy the blighted longsword. All BH stuff is untradeable?
No, not tradable. The blighted one's not tradable either.
Oh, interesting.
Apparently.
Weird.
But you get it via a different minigame.
Yeah, you get it from LMS.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I actually didn't know that all of the Bounty Hunter equipment was untradeable.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be tradable. In addition to being, required to be charged.
No, it's all untradeable. It's like a reward for basically doing the minigame.
I don't know how I feel about this. This is interesting because it raises a kind of situation where it's like, okay, now we have all the players that have been playing Bounty Hunter for a long time, and they've got all these imbues and untradeable upgrades from the minigame, and they're just going to, like, dominate the arena for the most part. But I guess it also comes with that risk-reward factor of, like, if they're wearing all that, they're wearing, like, a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of risk, because each of them are charged with coins,
a lot of money.
And the coins are automatically given to your opponent when you kill them. Yeah. I think each weapon is 50 mil, and each piece of armor is 5, so it's guaranteed.
Yeah, and because it's edge-style honor fights, really anything can happen.
Yeah.
Which is why people like the edge-style honor fights, because sometimes someone that looks like they should be losing just, like, does something crazy, just gets some, like, insane venge spec, and just KOs their opponent super quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's why I'm very interested to see how Bounty Hunter evolves over the coming weeks, and what the opinion of people that like actually like PvP and like Bounty Hunter is in a little bit here.
Yeah,
very interesting.
We'll see.
Let's see. I think there might have been something else I want to talk about here. Hold on.
Okay.
Gorillas have a melee animation that actually looks like a melee animation. Haven't seen that. Kind of weird. I didn't even realize that they used the same animation for ranging and meleeing. I feel like they didn't. I don't know.
It's a different animation. It just looks like a ranged attack. It looks similar.
I don't know. Weird. Loot from the wilderness bosses is now always dropped in their lairs rather than wherever the player is at the time of the death. That was funny. That was a really funny bug.
I don't know. I don't get why they patched that, because people were like, "Oh no, you can smuggle potions or food somewhere you're not supposed to." I'm like, "No, you can't, because it's blighted."
Well, like Calvarion, I think, and what's his face, Vedion, they have a drop of unnoted regular super restores, whereas at the other two bosses, it's noted.
No, they're blighted.
No, there's one of the bosses has an unnoted super restore drop that's not blighted.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. It gives you 3 regular super stores. You're right.
Yeah.
Also dark crabs. Okay. So Calvarion, I think, can, but I know Callisto doesn't.
Yeah, no. Callisto and Spindle/Veterinatus only drop unnoted blighted ones and noted regular ones. So very, very weird. But yeah, it was funny. When we were doing Callisto a couple days back, we were like done for the night, and I just suddenly had magic logs at my feet at the bank, and I was like, someone just finished up that kill. That's funny.
Yeah, that happened when we were getting chased off by PKers. I was in the middle of the escape caves, and I just got dropped. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, that's not worth running back for.
Very funny.
So I didn't.
Very silly.
Yeah.
Tithe Farm. So logging out at Tithe Farm no longer resets the number of seeds you have to 100. The number of seeds you have in your inventory is now preserved up to a maximum of 10,000. Here's the interesting part. The thing that I don't know that if they fixed, it might have been fixed and they just didn't list it here because they have a tendency to do that.
Points are capped?
Yeah, points are capped. If you take 10,000 seeds in, there's no reason to, because your points are capped at like 1,000, right?
I think it's like 2,000. But...
yeah, it's a pathetic amount compared to the 10,000 seeds you can bring in. Something that I think should be addressed, but isn't like a huge deal. It's very inconsistent with the fact that you can have 10,000 seeds, you know?
Yeah.
Something about PvP Arena, I don't care. And then also very interesting, you can now put 20 characters linked to a Jagex account, up from 10. I was very interested when I saw that Jagex accounts could only have 10 accounts linked. I was like, man, there's definitely some people out there that have more than 10 accounts. So I am pleasantly surprised to see that it's definitely a minority
of players, though.
Yeah, it's a very small minority. But I'm sure someone like Framed or even like Settled or something, these content creators that make accounts all the time, and like specifically PKing, especially since you want to have like all these different brackets of pures and stuff, and then also whatever like weird series, PvP hardcores that you might make.
Yeah, I mean, I have like 5 accounts myself, so
yeah, I think
it's not unheard of.
I think I have 5 or 6. Most of them are like meme accounts, and some of them are like old recovered accounts that I haven't done anything with, but I linked them all just because,
I've only linked my pure and my main.
Yeah, I have my main, I have my iron that is currently a free-to-play iron that I don't know if I'll ever do anything with. Got my group iron. I have the meme account that I made that literally could only train runecraft that I will probably never interact with again, but I just thought would be funny.
Forgot about that account.
And I have one of my old recovered accounts from when I was young. I think that's it. I think I have another account sitting around somewhere, but
yeah, I have my main. I have the group iron, my wilderness only, my pure.
Yeah, very telling that you didn't link your group iron to your Jagex account. Kind of fucked up, man.
It happens. Just like this week's sponsor. This week's episode is sponsored by The Shadow. Instantly transform your account today by receiving 1/3 of a shadow.
This week's episode is also sponsored by the Emblem Traders, Emblem Traders Anonymous. There's way too many different kinds of emblems in this game now, and most of them are deprecated. Trade them in, see what you get. It's like the lottery.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
Bird and I, in an effort to fill time, are going to talk about mini-games.
Listen, I think we did pretty good in the first section. I had a lot of random garbage to say about Bounty Hunter, so...
That's true, actually. We had more thoughts than we originally thought we would.
I mean, there's a lot of tangents and stuff filled in there, but you know, if that's not what you expect from this podcast yet, you probably haven't seen the other episodes.
Yeah, this is the 7th episode. We ramble a lot.
Go on tangents.
But
talk about random garbage. Hope you like that.
Yeah, that's what we like to do.
If you don't, leave. Because it'll probably it'll be better for you if you find something that you like to listen to.
That's true. Wilderness Podcast is pretty good. Shout out to them. XP Waste as well.
Sure, they're great.
Save A Cast, some people enjoy that.
The Shroom Cast?
He's off the shrooms now. He had a bad experience.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Very silly.
Speaking of bad experiences,
Minigames.
Barbarian Assault.
Minigames
in general. But we're just gonna go down the list on the wiki page, and we're gonna rank them.
I'm not gonna keep track of my ranks that I give them.
I'll keep track of them.
I'm not gonna keep track of them at all. So I think that'll make it pretty great.
So what do you think about Barbarian Assault?
Barbarian Assault is probably an A tier minigame for me.
I think it's S tier.
I don't think so, man. The levels of jank piss me off sometimes, and the booster community around the minigame really gets me going.
Well, okay, so the boosting community is crappy because it's haha, pay 50 mil and we'll get you a torso. But the minigame's really fun, and I think the jank is what makes it so fun.
I think saying it's really fun is a very, not an extreme amount, but a mild amount of copium.
Listen, when people are going for their torso, I'm the first to volunteer to help them.
I'm usually fine with volunteering too. I think it's fun. I like going for the collection log stuff, but I don't know, man. It's not right, the jankiness of it keeps it from S for me. It's a little too weird for me, a little too esoteric, similar to the new emblems.
We'll put BA in A tier then, I think.
I mean, you can put them in different tiers. I don't care.
I'm not going to split
up those. You don't have to keep track of my shit. I'll keep track of mine when I make the YouTube edit in 6 years.
I'm just going to do it combined. I'm going to average it out.
Whatever you say, Chief.
Speaking of esoteric, the new Bounty Hunter.
I mean, for me, this is just gonna get a C. It's interesting. I hope it's good, but I probably won't participate.
I hope it's good too.
It's kind of in an NA tier, right?
Yeah. We haven't done it, so maybe just slap it down here because we don't know.
Yeah.
I would give it a optimistic B.
I'd give it a gold star for trying.
We'll see. If it still is in the game and hasn't been removed in 6 months, then I think it's doing much better than the other iterations.
True.
Now this one's gonna hurt. Castle Wars.
D. For disappointing.
Yeah.
It's not the same, man.
I agree with you.
It's not the same.
It hits different than it did as a kid.
I'm sure you can still pull up with a big clan and have a fun time.
Yeah, I mean, we used to do that with Caveman.
Man,
the
rewards
do free
take forever to get.
They take forever to get.
An absolutely terrible amount of time. And they're not great either. They're not even that cool looking. The only cool ones are the Halos. The armor's just kind of like a flex for having it, you know?
I think the mage hat looks really cool, and I want a big mage hat, okay?
Isn't that newer? Wasn't that added in old school, I want to say?
It might have.
I don't actually know for sure.
Let's find out.
Rewards.
I typed in
magic.
Castle Hunter.
This was added in 2014.
Okay, yeah, that's new.
Yeah, the decorative ranged as well, I believe. Yeah, 2014. There was like a little Castle Wars refresh.
Yeah, I like it.
Which is why the decorative magic and ranged and halos are the only members items from Castle Wars.
Oh.
But
yeah, the halos look sick though. I like those.
Yeah. But it's just because of how like weird and long the games take. If you really want these items, you're going to be boosting. And that's not fun. And even just playing it, like, it'd get old pretty fast. I don't know, man.
Yeah, the problem is, like, with Castle Wars, it's so easy to grief, too.
Yeah. Just ain't the same. We're all efficiency minded nowadays. You know what also isn't the same?
Clan Wars isn't the same.
This is an F. It's just the only use of Clan Wars is to be a pool. A refresh pool.
Yeah.
Nobody bothers with it.
When I was a kid, I like actually legitimately did Clan Wars.
I did not.
I remember going there into the version that was in the wilderness and just participating in like huge fights, and it was just so much fun because, you know, we're all dumb kids and had no idea what we're doing. But
yeah, and I mean, I hear that huge clan fights are like kind of fun, even when they're just like in the wilderness. But I'm not gonna be in a huge PKing clan. Like, fuck that. I'm sure some of them are great. I know a lot of them are toxic. So, whatever. Clan Wars is an F for me.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Just like I think Amir's Arena is an easy F tier.
I'd be willing to give it a D tier just because like there's like some weird iron boosting you can do, but it's pretty bad.
I don't care if there's some like obscure boosting method you can do.
It's not even that obscure. Apparently, like it's a really popular method of getting imbues on Ironman. Like, I've never bothered to look at it. I'm sure if you asked in Petscape, people would be like, "Yeah, man, here's my 600-page document on why boosting at Amir's Arena is the best way to get imbues."
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, it sucks. Inferno, S tier.
Yeah, Inferno, S tier. Haven't done the content. I know you've tried it.
I have completed it in a league, and I've done a fair amount of it on like regular main game attempts with various gear sets. While I have never obtained an Infernal Cape myself, I find the content so very interesting, and it is very well designed. It's just an S.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see some more high-level content. I'm really still very interested in seeing the Tassakal trials whenever we get some more information about that, if that's even still being developed.
What is that, Blue Inferno?
Yeah, Blue Inferno. I'm very interested.
I think it's still being developed. I've heard stirrings.
I hope that is comparable in some way to the complexity of Inferno.
You know. Oh, you come to join the podcast? Okay.
Nana is also an Inferno enthusiast.
Yeah. Yeah, Inferno is great content, and the game needs more stuff like it, so the high-level community can shut up about not having content they can do.
So true.
Last Man Standing. I think I've done more of this than you.
I had to get a rune pouch.
That's true. You might have done more then.
I've done at least 20 hours of LMS.
Okay. You've done a little bit more. I've done some, though.
Which is weird, because my main has a higher LMS rank than my iron, and I've definitely done way more on my iron. It makes no sense.
I'm going to put LMS at A tier.
I'd probably give it a B for bot.
The bots are really annoying. If you can find an hour where there's no bots, though,
or if you can find an
great.
hour when there's terrible bots, because there's a lot of really bad
if
bots
you're going
in
for
LMS
points
as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely gotten my only win via killing a bot. At the very end,
Fuck you,
but
man.
yeah, I have a win.
I don't have any wins. Game sucks.
I got the cape in the collection log.
I got second once against like actual PKers, and then the guy that I went up against for the final 1v1 was just like fucking insane and just like hit me with a bunch of question marks, and it's like, I know what you want from me, man.
Yeah, I've gotten that plenty, but I think it's a great way to learn how to tribrid. It's just a good introduction to PKing. I think it deserves an A tier.
Yeah. For me, it's more of a B tier. I think that there could definitely be a better introduction to PKing. LMS is a little hardcore. It kind of just throws you into it.
That's true.
And Bounty Hunter is even more so like that. Yeah, Bounty Hunter is even more so like that. But really, the only difference is Bounty Hunter, you lose your stuff.
That's true.
Like, they just throw you in. Just good luck.
But I think because people are going to be like worried about risking gear, you can probably get fights with people that are like, bringing, like Dragon Sim or a whip or something, and aren't like bringing like, crazy spec weapons.
I don't know. We'll see. But LMS for me is probably a B.
Okay,
it's
I'll
good.
Put it in B tier.
It's not amazing.
Next one's an obvious F tier.
I'd be willing to give it an F.5 just for being Insano mode melee XP.
Yeah.
This is
Nightmare Zone, by the way. I'm giving it an F tier because it feels like a RuneScape private server.
It should probably just not be in the game.
And it looks terrible. It's just jank and weird, and I don't understand. Like, I know it came into the game really early, but like they've had so many opportunities to go back and like change it, and they just haven't.
Yeah, it's very weird. It has functionality, so I'll give it an F for functional.
Yeah. Pest control.
It's like a C for me. This minigame's boring as fuck.
Sorry, I'm hearing weird noises down my hallway.
That's me. I'm haunting you. Haunted.
No, I think it's Christian playing Zelda or something upstairs. No, but yeah, I think pest control is like a solid C.
Yeah, it's kind of right down the middle.
I wouldn't put it any higher, and I could think about maybe doing D, but it's not that bad.
No, it's
there's some
you can do some funny stuff. There's always people there because people are always making new accounts or making their first account, and they want Void. Mm-hmm. So it's always populated. You can have some funny social interactions. You can wear funny gear and just fuck around. And you get Void, and it's useful.
Yeah, the rewards are good. The minigame isn't that bad.
It isn't terrible, but it isn't great.
Like, I don't have a good time doing pest control.
No.
Hey, I have occasionally thought about doing it for collection log.
It stays out of D tier because of combat achievements.
That's true. You don't have to spend as much time there. Okay, this is one I think we're going to have very different opinions about.
This one's also Soul Wars. Yeah, Soul Wars. This one's also probably like B or C for me.
Okay, we don't have that much of it. I really like Soul Wars, but I recognize it has problems.
Yeah.
It has the same sort of problem that like if people actually did Castle Wars would have.
Yeah.
Where you just get people with like, max gear absolutely crapping on all the noobs.
Yeah.
And everyone just gets frozen in place, and you're just like fighting with mage or range because you can never actually get in melee range with people.
Yeah. It's interesting.
The mechanics of the minigame are much more interesting than Castle Wars.
Yeah. There's actually some stuff going on. There's things that even like little newbie guys can do. There's the little PVM stuff. You can kill guys and like get the little fragments or bones or whatever. There's stuff to do.
I would want to give it a B tier.
I would personally probably give it a C tier, but I'd be willing to let you put it in B tier just because I think Honestly, I think Soul Wars could probably benefit from the bounty hunter treatment of no freezes.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. If there was no freezes, Soul Wars would be like a very solid B. I'd be even okay if there were binds. Binds and the weird claws on the Arceus spellbook.
Yeah, maybe.
But just being able to ice barrage people is like...
It's boring. It's lame.
It's boring. Yeah.
And it's just kind of the best way to kill people. And it's just lame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you go into the center pillar area, you're just going to get ice barraged from someone like, you know, at the other end who's just trying to clump up a bunch of people to ice barrage them over and over again.
It can actually be fun to pull up in a squad and just, like, pick a guy and fuck him up.
Yeah, I mean, I did, I brought full, full Justice.
Did you just go to the enemy guy and just fuck him while just tanking?
Yeah, that's real fun. And I had what was it? The Dragonfire Shield, and I think I was just using like a whip or something because Fang didn't exist yet.
Yeah,
it's when I was going for my pet.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's the other problem. Is this also has a little bit of a boosting problem, but it doesn't affect the main minigame really at all.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's alright.
What do you think about temple trekking?
It's like a C or a D tier. It's boring content.
It's not a minigame I ever do.
It's boring content, but it has function. You can get a shit ton of bowstrings from this. That's the only reason I ever do it. Is I get maple logs from my kingdom, and I fletch them into longbows, and then I string them with bowstrings that I get from temple trekking. It's really easy. You just do the easy path all the time. You never bother with the medium or hard paths. Not worth your time at all. And you can just get a bunch of bowstrings. And I guess also the Tomes of Experience, if you're an area lock. Really the bowstrings is the only draw. Oh, and the Lumberjack outfit comes from here.
Yeah, Lumberjack outfit, that's the only time I've ever done the minigame. And you just do, like, the beginning of it over and over again until you get the Lumberjack outfit, and then you never actually complete one, so...
Yeah, it's kind of whatever. I'd give it, like, low C, high D. It's useful, but it's kind of boring.
Yeah. What do you think about Jad, the Czar Fight Caves?
I mean, this is obviously, like, A or maybe even also S. Just... because of how iconic it is.
I would be hesitant to put it at S. It's very iconic, and it's well designed. But, like, I feel like it doesn't have the same sort of prestige that, like, the Inferno has.
I mean, no, but are we really ranking these off of, like, the prestige of them? Like...
No, it's how
the Inferno would not exist without the Fight Caves.
That's true.
Fight Caves are literally just baby Inferno. At this point, a lot of the stuff that you learn in the Fight Caves is immediately applicable to Inferno, with just the mechanics have been upgraded in a sense.
Yeah, I think the Fight Cave is like the Fight Cave is what the Inferno is, but to med levels or low levels.
Yeah,
in that it once you come out of the Fight Caves, you leave a better player.
Yeah. Yeah, Fight Caves is something that I personally believe that every single player that logs into this video game can do if they try. It's not super hard, but it is difficult for those that are unfamiliar with the game. But you don't need to go fucking insano mode, be absolutely cracked at the video game, switching all of your prayers every single game tick. Like, you can do it. It's not that hard. I believe in you.
Yeah, I think it's still S tier. Can get a fire cape. Yeah, I'll put an S tier. I've been persuaded. What I won't put in S tier, though, is the Czar Fight Pit.
This gets an F for Fight Pit.
An F for... Has anyone done this minigame?
This gets an F for... Fuck. I need to get the achievement diary.
Yeah, I literally the only time I've ever done it, and it's not even a fun minigame. You just fight people.
Yeah, you just fight people and get Tockle. It's kind of whatever.
Like, we have...
Go do Bounty Hunter LMS.
Yeah, how many minigames do you need where you just fight people? And, like, this is just a bad way of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's old. It's old as heck.
It's free-for-all, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
I knew.
It's just like, you wait in a lobby.
I actually used to watch matches of this way back in the day when it was, like, air quotes, new content. And there was just, like, actually people there just fighting just for the fuck of it.
I don't know if it's multi-combat.
I don't remember.
It might be.
I do not remember. I can just click on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't immediately
it
read
doesn't
it. And
say.
I don't want to continue reading that.
I control F'd it. It doesn't matter. It's an F tier. It's a bad minigame.
It's bad. It's boring. It's stupid. It has no mechanics.
In the fourth Czar minigame, the Zarket Rocks challenges.
This one is probably an A from me.
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
Like, here's why it stays out of S tier for me. Like, it's fine, but
yeah,
it's just here. Have some more Jads.
Yeah,
it's not revolutionary by any means.
Yeah,
like it's cool. I'm glad it's in the game. It's funny.
Yeah.
And you get the Jad recolor from it if you do all 6.
And there's like an infinite Jad mode that you can just do for fun.
Yeah. Sure, whatever.
What did you say for that? A tier?
Yeah, it's A tier. It's good. I'm glad it's there.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not an S tier.
Probably didn't take much dev time, and they get a mini game out of it that some people will enjoy, and a bunch of combat achievements. So cool. Now on from the combat minigames onto the skilling ones. Starting off, I think decently strong. I think Brimhaven Agility is not bad.
This is like a C tier from me.
You think? I was going to give it a B.
The mechanics of Brimhaven Agility Arena are the mechanics of all agility of its time. Click obstacle, roll dice.
It's old and not that terribly interesting, but it's like pretty decent agility XP.
And you can get Dark Blue Graceful.
You get Dark Blue Graceful from it.
It's kind of whatever for me. It's a C. It's not particularly bad, but it's also not particularly great.
I guess, yeah, C for just not terribly interesting.
Yeah, it's just kind of whatever. And
with
when you get into B tier for me, that's when I start to actually like it a little bit, And I wouldn't say that I like Brimhaven Agility Arena.
Yeah, and with Hulled Sepulchre, it's just not really worth doing anymore, I guess.
Yeah, I would only ever do it for Dark Blue if I wanted Dark Blue.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give it a C tier then. This is a terrible one. Fishing Trawler?
F for Fishing Trawler.
F for... I hate doing this minigame.
This minigame just sucks.
They've introduced other ways to get the outfit.
That also suck.
It's like... Yeah, you're better off doing Fishing Trawler and then doing Fishing Todd afterward.
I don't think aerial fishing is considered a minigame. It's not here.
No, sorry. Yeah, you don't get it from Fishing
you don't get
Todd.
it from
you get
Fishing
it from aerial fishing.
You get it from aerial fishing. And aerial fishing, if it was a minigame, which I don't think it is, I don't think it's here,
no, it's not.
Is also an F tier. It's an honorable mention to be an F tier.
I'd argue it's D tier, but that's fair. Because it's not.
It's got the
XP
golden tench. Oh, it's funny.
Well, I did get the golden tench just absolute spooned, and that's funny.
Terrible, man. The rewards from aerial fishing do not make up for its general awfulness.
But we're not talking about aerial fishing. We're talking about Fishing Trawler, which is terrible.
Also terrible.
It's so unfun.
I would argue not quite as terrible because you can just kind of sit on the boat sometimes. Whereas with aerial fishing, you have to fucking click all the time. But they're both awful.
Yeah, it's just, if you go dry, you're just there for like an entire day, and it's like,
It's bad.
It's awful.
It's boring. I'm glad that they added like the Kraken that attacks it, but it still sucks.
It's still terrible. What do you think about Giant's Foundry?
This one might be an S for me, honestly.
It's a good minigame. It's, like, interesting enough that, like, it keeps your attention without being, like, obnoxious about it. You know?
I actually quite like Giant's Foundry.
But you can, like, kind of AFK it if you want.
Yeah. It's
and
good.
It's, like, good XP an hour for people that aren't trying to be sweaty at, like,
Blast Furnace.
Blast Furnace, thank you.
Yeah, it's good. I like it a lot. It's got some good rewards. It's got the funny big sword. It's got the smith's outfit, which increases how quickly you can smith things at an anvil.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get
the double cannonball
before
as well.
Do 99 smithing.
Yeah, I have it. It's really nice because I am an ironman, so I have to make darts. Very, very nice for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the double cannonball mold also very nice because it makes me make cannonballs faster. Pretty good. I'm tempted to give it an S because I just think it's entertaining to do. It has decent XP. Like it checks all the boxes, but it isn't particularly revolutionary, so it might just be high A. I don't know. I really like it though. It's weird to put it
tier.
It's weird to put it with the Inferno, honestly. So probably A.
Yeah,
tier.
I don't think it deserves there. I'm gonna put Giant's Foundry in A. And it's Giants plural, also possessive though. Foundry. So there we go. What do you think about Gnome Ball, the best minigame in existence?
B for ball.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I don't know. It's kind of whatever. Probably like C or D if I'm being real, but B for ball is funny.
I think it's, like, I've done Gnome Ball just for fun before, and it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, which is why I'd give it, like, a C, you know? Maybe, like, a high C or a low B.
It's not great.
It's a little silly and funny.
If you get 5 points, by the way, you get a Gnome Ball, which is just funny.
And it's a very silly item.
Yeah.
Like
so, like, I'm giving it a B tier for ball.
All right, I'll accept that.
Like, it exists. It's not offensive. Like, I don't get annoyed thinking about, like, how Gnome Ball exists. Like, like when I think about Fishing Trawler or Castle Wars.
Yeah.
But
Castle Wars really is just the definition of D for disappointment.
Yeah. Gnome Ball is inoffensive, and it's old and has existed for a while, but isn't, like...
Its existence is humorous to me.
Yeah, it's just funny. I get a laugh thinking about Gnome Ball.
Speaking of things that are humorous in their existence, Gnome Restaurant, also humorous in its existence.
So, like, this is also just a moneymaker, too?
Yeah, this one's very silly.
It's like $1 million an hour.
Yeah, and you get the scarf thingy from this. That's a very iconic item.
Yeah, you see it in a lot of people's, like, fashionscape.
Yeah.
You also get the gnome goggles, which I actually think kind of look good.
Yeah, there's some interesting things that come from this. It's not particularly revolutionary when it comes to gameplay loop. It is receive a task, make the thing that you need in order to deliver, or just already have it, and then deliver it to a random place and get reward.
Interesting, by the way. This is a way to get gout weeds if you don't want to, like...
Oh, really?
Sneak past the... Yeah.
That's funny.
If you're trying to do, like, Edgar's Ruse or, like, one of the other quests that need it, this is, like, an alternative way to do it.
Oh, you can also get gnome balls. Let's go.
Yeah.
This is also something that is often unknown to a lot of people. This is how you get grand seed pods, which are single-use seed pods that you get before you get the multi one from the royal seed pod.
They give you, like, a token amount of, I want to say it's, farming XP. They give you a token amount of farming XP when you use them. Yeah. Hanani had a woodcutting only account that got ruined because someone gave her a grand seed pod and she used it and got like 15 XP or something and leveled up. But yeah, where do you think Gnome Restaurant should go?
According to the wiki page, the grand seed pod was once commonly used to lure players. That's funny.
How?
I have no idea.
Lure them where?
Although scams involving this item have fallen out of favor, players should still exercise caution when the grand seed pod is involved. Most of these lures involve the victim dropping valuable items, then proceeding to squash or launch the pod.
Oh, it's just to get them away from
Yeah, I imagine it's just like, here, have this, and then drop it, but you can't drop it. It just teleports you.
Yeah. Sorry, it's 100 farming XP.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Very silly.
Yeah.
Gnome Restaurant, maybe also a B. Like, it's kind of funny that it exists. It's not particularly terrible. Oh, isn't this also how you get the those like tokens that you can like call in food supply drops?
Oh yeah, that I think like some people have used them for like some meme like Inferno stuff or something.
Yeah. Very silly.
What are these? Where are they?
Yeah.
Reward tokens
that are just mushrooms.
Yeah. Instantly gain free items of known cuisine. Interesting.
Yeah. Like there's some silly items that come from this. It's not particularly intrusive. It's also not particularly exciting. This one's also like a C or a B.
Yeah. You might not actually be allowed to bring this into the Inferno. You probably can because it's 150 or 50 to 150 HP per slot, so probably not.
Regardless,
but I'll put it in B.
Very silly.
It's pretty funny.
Very funny.
Like when they made this, they're just like, "Oh, we already have all this gnome food. What if we made you deliver it? That'd be funny."
Yeah, very silly.
Guardians of the Rift. I think this deserves an S tier.
Yeah, I was going to say that maybe hot take that this one gets an S tier solely on the fact that this minigame completely revitalized runecrafting as a skill.
Yeah, people went from like never wanting to touch runecrafting to like being okay with training it.
Yeah, like it actually has functionality now, so it's worth training. So while it still sucks to train if you're doing normal methods, it's worth it now. There's an actual function to having it. Whether or not that function is worth it is still up for debate because the blood.
What do you mean by it has a function now?
I mean, you can make runes and you get a reasonable amount of them, right?
Via doing Guardians of the Rift.
Yeah, via doing Guardians of the Rift.
Yeah, you actually get like a lot of runes from doing Guardians of the Rift.
But I did forget which blog it was, but they, we're talking about how they still have the blood rune problem. And like one of their considerations was, do we make rune crafting even better? And I don't know, maybe we do. But I haven't done I haven't ran True Blood Altar Bloods yet, despite being 99 runecraft. But regardless of all that, back to the minigame itself. Yeah. The minigame is also just good.
It's fun. Doing it in small teams, you develop some interesting strategies. Doing it on the mass world is fine. It's fun.
You can like AFK leech, or you can do a little bit more involved on mass worlds. And then, you know, like you said, in small teams, you can go even more involved. Like, there's varying levels to it, which I always enjoy. There's actual mechanics. And you get a decent amount of XP and a lot of runes as a reward. Yeah,
if you do like combo runes too, that's interesting.
Oh yeah, I love that. I'm a combo rune stan at Guardians of the Rift.
Yeah, because you get more points faster.
I'm kind of sad that no one has asked me to do Guardians of the Rift now that I'm 99 runecraft because my pouches never degrade anymore because I can just wear the cape and I can get more points from the U lantern and not have to use the redwood one.
The only thing that knocks Guardians of the Rift down slightly in my mind is the stupid lantern.
Yeah, the lantern's dumb.
Like, if you don't get spooned a lantern, then the minigame is just a bit worse for you because you didn't get lucky.
Yeah.
And you'll never want to purchase it because
they've
you
made
want
it
the
so
outfit
insanely expensive. And like, why would I get the lantern when I could instead get it randomly as a drop and instead use my pearls that I get to buy something that I don't have the possibility of randomly getting as a drop?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
And by the time that you would have bought the entire outfit and then had enough pearls to actually buy the lantern, if you haven't got the lantern by then, you have gone probably over double dry for the lantern.
Yeah. It's annoying, but I still think it's an S tier minigame.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Once again, it's going to be weird putting things in S with fucking Inferno and Fight Caves, but it's just really like, good.
This is a skilling minigame, which I think gives it some leeway in being different.
It is very strange that because we were doing all minigames, the skilling stuff just kind of gets thrown in with all the combat-related stuff. But that it is what it is. They've decided to classify these things as minigames. That's not my fault.
Yeah. What do you think about Hauled Sepulchre? This
also
isn't something
S
I've done.
This shit fucks. This shit I do not feel bad about putting next to Inferno in the slightest. This is awesome.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but like praise for like the minigame, besides from high level sweats that are mad that their agility XP is 20k an hour better or whatever.
Yeah, I don't care about that. If you liked having better XP at rooftops, eat shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's
I don't
good
care
XP,
about your opinion.
Good money,
and I feel no shame in saying that.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's always been weird to me how people are like, "Oh, I don't want this thing because it's better than the old things."
I hate that.
But like they
just
like
always
my
set, like, 99
stupid
Runecraft ass being like, I don't want Guardians of the Rift because it'll make my skill actually useful. Like what? They
always set such a weird, arbitrary, like things of what can and can't be added.
So dumb. And speaking of people being dumb, why did we vote no to Amylice crystals from this minigame? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
So
good
dumb.
Rooftops, I guess.
So dumb.
Yeah. All it does is affect Ironman,
Like,
and it's a bit more GP an hour if you're a main.
Yeah, I hate that because I am an Ironman and because Amylice crystals failed to make it into this minigame, there is an obligation for me to do rooftops now. Because if I want to continue having stams, I have to click on rooftops instead of doing a piece of content that I actually fucking enjoy.
I think
pisses me off to no end.
Yeah. I mean, the hope is you get to a point in your account where you don't need stams because you're just teleporting everywhere.
But like,
there's some content
you
need
for like
stams.
chambers if you're pre-potting stams or soloing chambers,
Zilliana.
which I don't plan on doing. Zilliana actually, I was shown there's a lot of like actually really good methods for low run energy just walk around. And like only run in certain spots. Like there's a bunch of tile markers and it's kind of involved, but you can like preserve your run energy.
Through.
Yeah, it doesn't absolutely eat through stams. And even if you do bring, you can do it without stams entirely, but even if you do bring stams, you have to use them very infrequently now. So there's methods of getting around it, but it just sucks, man. I hate that. Anyways, the rest of Howled Sepulchre, awesome. It is very good at teaching you the way your character moves. I am much better at this video game because I went from like 92 to 99 agility on my main when I was still like a skiller type person. I understand the way my character fundamentally moves so much better.
Now that I like know how my character moves and am better at the game, because I've done so much Toa and other bossing, but mostly Toa. I think if I went back to Hauled Sepulchre, I wouldn't have as much problems as I did when I first started. Because, like, what was it, floor 4? Where there's just that, like,
floor 3
wall. floor 3.
Everybody gets stuck
that
on
wall
floor 3.
where everyone gets stuck.
Yep.
I think I could get past that now without any issues.
It's a 2-click. It's a 2-click obstacle.
Yeah.
But it is either a 1-tick window or a tick perfect trick to 2-click it. So
gotcha.
Depending on which cycle you're in. So sometimes it can be worth it to just like go to varying degrees and like 3 or 4-click it. But yeah, it's very daunting. But once you know the strat, it's like a literal brain dead free obstacle. And it's one of those things that
I'd be interested in going back.
It's one of those things that you can get so good at that it isn't like brain off content, but it's like you're cruising, you're chilling, you're still playing the game, but
Toa's not brain off, but when I'm sending like, 200s, or 150 learners, it's just like, I'm cruising, not paying attention really because it's
then getting slapped by an attack off prayer because you were cruising a little too hard.
Yeah, that's happened a lot. We were doing 300s a lot lately, and in like 6 to 8 mans, there's just like you can kind of just not pay attention because the bosses usually aren't on you, but every once in a while you're just not paying attention a little too much.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, Hallowed Sepulchre, easiest tier minigame of my life. Goes so hard.
So I don't count this as a minigame. I don't know why it's here, but Impatious Impulses, which is...
Oh, is this just Puro?
It's Puro.
I mean, I guess you could count Puro as a minigame. I don't know. I don't think it's a minigame, but I haven't done Puro. Have you done Puro? I mean, I'm an ironman. Not all ironman do Puro. I... long ago needed a Crozier for a hard clue step, so I just caught a shit ton of eclectic implings and did medium clues. It's fine. Puro is like C
tier.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not particularly offensive, and it's not particularly exciting. There's just a bunch of implings, and you can catch them. And the soldier imps that walk around and are supposed to take your implings are broken, and the mechanic...
Oh, is that what they're supposed to do?
Yeah, there's the soldier implings that walk around are supposed to like catch you and take your implings from you. But it was explained the reason they don't function is because like one of their mechanics is like hooked up to like a global timer. So once the servers have been online for X amount of time, they just cease to function.
That's so funny.
It's very silly.
Yeah.
Puro would probably be F tier if that was not the case.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I've done a little bit of Puro. It was fine when I did it.
Yeah, it's whatever.
I wasn't upset.
It's not particularly,
I wouldn't want to go out of my way to do it.
No, but like it's a nice option to have for like, eclectic farming. You can literally just camp an eclectic impling spawn and just get a bunch of them if you're like just trying to get some medium clues. And with the addition of Dark Lure as well. From the
Dark Lure like significantly improved it.
Yeah, makes it very nice. Yeah, definitely just like a C2.
I'm also gonna write it as Puro. I'm not writing Impatious Impulses.
When you listed every minigame earlier when I was asking if we should actually do this, you said that, and I was like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, you never heard of Impatious Impulses?
Impetuous.
Impetuous?
I think that's what that word is. Yeah. I genuinely don't know for sure, but it's definitely not impatious.
Oh, it's an actual word.
Yeah,
impetuous. Acting or done quickly and without thought or care.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I sound like a jackass now.
You're dumb as fuck. Anyways, MTA, D.
Oh, easy D, dude.
D and not F only because it has good rewards.
Yeah.
This minigame sucks.
No, I said easy D. I'm sorry, easy F.
Yeah.
So the rewards aren't even that good. You get some mage armor that's pretty garbage. Who cares about Infinity? Like,
people only care about the boots. Especially, let's be honest here.
Yeah, you care about the boots.
Snoop's crying but because he wears he has the dark Infinity that he wears during Chambers, and that shit goes hard. Not gonna lie. that he has it. But man, it sucks.
Yeah,
comparatively.
I mean, Dark Infinity does go hard, but
even all the colors of Infinity, I think, go hard. That outfit is so goofy, and I love it.
But like the problem with all the mage armor you get there, including the gloves and the boots, is that it's not very good.
It's mid as hell.
The boots are only good now because of Shadow,
and the boots themselves aren't even good. They require the Serb crystal to be good.
Yeah. And the Master Wand is
I still think
okay.
Master Wand goes hard.
Yeah, Master Wand is good, but
Kodai's been with the new Ancient Scepter and the Nightmare Staff and also Toxic Staff.
I just don't think there's a reason
existing.
to go for it until you have a butt plug.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever. Because speaking of the, like I said in the first section of the podcast, I'm gonna go to Zami, and I was like, man, should I get a Master Wand? And then I was like, wait, fuck no, I'm just gonna use fucking the Ancient Scepter because it actually has mage strength.
Yeah. And the mage book is like
a joke.
With
Ward existing now, it's actually just a joke.
That Pures get, I guess, but I don't know. I've never seen someone legitimately wearing one.
I kind of wish they'd add an upgrade to the mage, like something you could attach to the mage book to give it like how much does Ward give? Is Ward 2%?
Yeah.
All right.
No, I think it's 3%.
Is it 3%? I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
Illidness Ward. It is 3%. So let's get an upgrade to the mage book that gives it like 1 or 2%.
Well, just give us the Siren's Tome.
True.
That was originally pulled with the Nightmare of Ashihama as like an upgrade.
It's probably a good thing that didn't pass.
Yeah.
But it was a very weird thing to be on Nightmare.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you use a lot of mage at Nightmare for the pillars.
I guess,
so
yeah.
It's like not that weird.
I guess it was probably supposed to pair with the staff and the orbs. But like Ward is pretty easy to get, all things considered. And going to Nightmare and getting a drop is not easy.
That's true.
So it probably would have been awful.
The only reason people do this god-awful minigame is for Bones to Peaches.
Yeah.
Because they need it for the Elite Lumbridge Diary.
And Bones to Peaches also goes hard at some
Bones to Peaches does go hard. Except I only ever use it at God Wars Dungeon. And
I use it at Kurasks.
When I do like Kurasks. Yeah.
There's some weird spots
and I'm like,
you can use it.
Might as well.
I'm glad that spell exists. That's like the rewards being like somewhat good from this boosted up to D tier for me, but the minigame itself is
just
fucking
so
awful.
unfun.
Yeah, it's pretty bad,
and it takes so long too.
It takes a very long time to get anything. It's pretty bad. I will not deny that.
I'm leaving it an F tier.
Go ahead,
cannot convince me otherwise.
For me, it's a D.
I like Mahogany Homes though.
Yeah, this one's for me probably an A tier.
Yeah, Mahogany Homes is a solid A tier. I've gotten some shit from people for like doing Mahogany Homes.
You're a main. You could just waste more money.
Yeah, it's like, well, before I had the Shadow split, I had no money. Yeah. I had a 400 mil bank and like no spare GP. So
yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with mains doing Mahogany Homes.
Yeah,
obviously, like in an ideal world, you don't do Mahogany Homes and you just fucking absolutely go insano mode on construction and just build, I mean, like, there's mahogany the argument, tables or whatever.
I don't know. I think Mahogany Homes is just more fun too.
Yeah, it doesn't give me carpal tunnel or early onset arthritis. So,
like, my biggest complaint with doing traditional construction is my fucking wrists hurts after bad. Like 20 minutes. And Mahogany Homes has some cool rewards. I like Amy's Saw as a thing.
Oh man.
The blueprints are cool. I think they look nice.
I need to go back. I probably have enough. I'm literally chopping mahogany logs and turning them into planks right now in Priptinus. I probably have enough. I think I can get the Hosidius blueprints, and I'll have
I'll have 2K points. It's very expensive.
Yeah, I have like 1,600 or something right now. So
you have everything else?
Yep, everything except for the supply crate. I think you need to get one of those for the log, but. I have the saw, I have the whole outfit, I have... Is that it?
I have the saw, the sack, and
the sack,
the hat.
Right. The fucking plank sack goes hard, dude.
It does go hard. It's actually useful, like, outside the minigame,
Yeah, there's some niche use cases at Sepulchre, especially. Very nice. PSA, if you're using plank sack at Hallowed Sepulchre, it uses them from the plank sack. You don't need to empty the plank sack. I've seen so many people emptying the plank sack or like having extra planks in the plank sack. They get used from the sack. Just keep it in your inventory with planks in it.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. You can also use it when you're like right now you're in Prif making planks. You could have the plank sack on you and do 2 inventories at a time.
Man.
Yeah. It's like the fish sack,
might do that. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a solid A tier.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy, but it's good. Thumbs up.
Yeah, it's good. It made a bad skill to train into an okay skill to train, and it costs way less to do it.
Speaking of skills that are bad to train and a slightly better way to train them, in my opinion, Pyramid Plunder.
Pyramid Plunder. Yeah.
I like Pyramid Plunder. It's not great.
There's something
it's
about...
not perfect.
But not having to click the same spot over and over again that makes my wrists feel better.
Yeah, because like you can just like once you fail a thing, you can just spam click it again for a little bit and then you can stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Pyramid Plunder. This was probably a B tier.
It's also notable of being like the best XP an hour once you get to a certain point.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So,
yeah, it has it has the requirement of, not the hard requirement, but if you want to be efficient at Pyramid Plunder, you should have a scepter. And the scepter comes from the minigame.
Goes hard.
Yeah, the scepter is a very nice item to have. This has been like an on and off thing for me lately. I've been trying to get a second scepter so I can build the occult altar in my house. I've seen like 4 bots get scepters, and I'm losing my mind, man.
That's upsetting.
There's a lot of bots here again.
Yeah.
I've been reporting as many of them I can.
When I was doing it during bingo, there was a ton.
Yeah. That's one of the areas where I'm like, how is whatever systems that the anti-cheating team has in place not detecting these fucking bots? They have like a little bit of combat experience usually, and then just like 100 thieving.
Like, you'd think they'd have like enough data on all of them.
Yeah. That one blows my mind. Same with like PVM bots that just have like a bazillion of one boss and like nothing else. It's like, how are these still in the game? I don't understand.
Yeah, how's that not triggering some sort of flag, you know? I don't know.
But yeah, Pyramid Plunder, pretty good.
Yeah,
still thieving, and you still like take damage and have to click a fair amount, but it's way better than regular thieving, in my opinion. B.
You know what's not good?
The Ranging Guild. This is just useless. This is an F.
So, you want to know something funny? I've done the Ranging Guild minigame.
I haven't. I'll come clean. I've never done it. I've never bothered.
Yeah, so there's like a shooting range that you can do, and it gives you just ranged XP. It's really bad XP per hour. But when I was making my pier, I needed just range XP. And I was like, okay, I'll go cannon. And then I realized how expensive that would be. I was like, I wonder if this is an alternative. And it wasn't. So I just spent the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's bad. The entire area is just really outdated.
The diagonal zone.
Yeah, it's like diagonal and really janky because of that. Yeah, I think this is like an easy F tier.
It's just please like make the ranging guild useful. Just give it a revamp. I'd love to. They've talked about it before, like doing a guild's revamp. I'd love to see that in the game. There's a lot of guilds that suck.
Yeah, I would really love some like better guilds, and also the capes that don't have guild teleports, give them guild teleports. Like, why can't my woodcutting cape take me to the woodcutting guild?
Farming guild goes hard, man.
It does.
Every guild should be kind of, you should use the farming guild as a basis. Woodcutting guild's also pretty good, but I think the farming guild is like, that is what I think of when I think of a guild.
Yeah, because like I forget the mage guild exists.
Oh yeah,
you remember that it exists? Like it's in Gielinor.
Yeah, you buy runes from there sometimes.
Yeah, you can get your mystics if you want from there. Like, the ranging guild, I forget, is a thing. The warriors guild goes kind of hard.
Yeah, warriors guild's alright. Cooking guild's pretty worthless.
Yeah, you can get pies there, I guess.
Yeah, and there's like some little quality of life. Like if for some reason you are making flour, it has like the best flour making apparatus. But
I didn't know that. Mining guild's another good guild.
Mining guild's alright, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it has the unidentified minerals and the amethyst, yeah. So that's pretty good, yeah. That's what I think of like a guild, you know. I want there to be a decent bit of the core content. Guild. I want there to be like a special thing, so like unidentified minerals or mining contracts, for example. And then I want there to be a unique piece of content, so amethyst or hespori or the anima patch, for example.
Yeah. The main thing with the mining guild is you get an invisible +7 boost to mining.
And then also the woodcutting guild, same thing.
Yeah. Same with the fishing guild, which I'm at right now. But also at the mining guild, the rocks respawn faster.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Compared to every other location, yeah, they spawn twice as fast.
Interesting. But we're not talking about guilds. Enough of guilds. Ranging guild sucks.
Rogue's Den.
Rogue's Den. This is kind of a classic, if I'm being honest. This is kind of a staple of the game. This one probably fits solidly in C tier for me. Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. If you've done it before, it's pretty much a set strategy. You do the same thing every time you go through. Doesn't take a super long time. You can get unlucky and not get the pieces of the rogue outfit, which kind of sucks. But it doesn't take super long to just do the whole thing again.
Yeah, I'm not super mad doing it, and it's pretty quick, and then you're done, and you don't have to go back.
It's a very whatever piece of content. The rogue's outfit is very good if you are pickpocketing. You should have it if you are pickpocketing. It just
the reward
if you're wearing
is
the whole outfit, it just doubles everything you pickpocket. So you should have it.
So when you're pickpocketing elves for your enhanced teleport crystal, you get 2 of them. Like, sheesh.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I have not pickpocketed an elf in my life. I think I did. I think I did once for a skill challenge on a clue, I think. Or something like that.
I've gotten 4 enhanced teleport seeds from it.
Yeah, I can't be asked. I probably will not do that until I have 99 thieving.
Anyways.
Yeah, it's whatever.
C tier.
C.
Sorceress's Garden.
This is a weird one.
I like it.
Yeah, it's the one-click method at the Summer Garden is pretty good.
Yeah. I think that's the only redeeming factor. I think there's
one-click at the other ones as well that you can set up. I don't know if at all of them, but this one's kind of a little weird, and a lot of people probably don't know about this. So I'm going to explain this one real quick. Basically, just hang on directions. I think it's like southeast of the Alcarid main castle area. Yeah, southeast. There's a little a transportation icon, which if you hover over is the teleport to Sorceress's Garden. If you go there, you can interact with a person and you can get some dialogue, and then you can go to the Sorceress's Garden, and you can run past a bunch of elementals that are themed after the 4 seasons, depending on what your level is. I think it's directly tied to thieving level, right? Or is it farming? I don't remember.
I think it's thieving.
Directly tied to what thieving level you have is which tier of the garden you can go into. And you can, if you are insane, go to an herb patch and steal some herbs.
Apparently it's like actually a good way to get like certain herbs from the summer garden.
No.
I
that's copium, in my opinion.
Okay.
I went and did it a little bit because funny Iron Man wanted herblore XP early in his account. Not worth it. Just like do anything else. I don't know.
Interesting.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, but it's decent.
But the
like
the other part
XP.
to finish explaining, instead of picking herbs, you can go steal from a tree and you'll get a squirk. And when you get 2 squirks, you can crush them up with a pestle and mortar, and you can make a squirk juice. And depending on what tier of squirk juice it is, it gives you a temporary bonus to thieving, which is cool. Or you can turn it into Osmond / what's the guy that replaces Osmond after the new quest?
Selim, which I didn't know was a thing. I was just like, I'm gonna go talk to Osmond to go go turn something in, and it was just a different guy, and I was just like,
Osmond's busy, bro. He's got shit to do.
I kind of forgot that he was like part of the quest, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, you can turn them in and you can get a pretty good amount of thieving XP. People do this to bank thieving XP, and you can just like turn in copious amounts of these to get insano mode XP per hour.
Yeah. You can go from 65 to 99 in like an hour.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I did a bit of this during I forget which league. And the amount of XP per hour I got with like the 16x multiplier was insane.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
I think this is like a B tier.
Yeah, this is B. It's kind of niche. It's not the greatest. You have to use staminas for it. And setting up the one click is a little annoying, but once you have it set up, as long as nobody shows up to your world and doesn't fucking know how to do it, you can just cruise, and it's all right.
Imagine showing up to a world, not knowing how to do it, and then getting a pet, and then leaving without explaining anything. Like,
anyways, Tithe Farm. Tithe Farm just got an update.
Just improved it.
It was, in my opinion, all right before, and now is even more all right.
I think before it was C tier in my eyes. I didn't enjoy doing it.
I was fine with it.
Like, hate doing it, but like it was okay. Like, I did it for the hat, and I was like, cool, I'm leaving.
I did it for when I was Song the Elves rushing. I did it for farming XP, and then just also got the outfit and the Growler's can and the herb sack and the seed box. I just picked it all up along the way, and I thought it was fine. And now it's even better.
I think it's a solid B.
I would agree.
Now,
I would have always given it a B.
Like,
I still give it a B.
I think it was a C before. I think it's a B now, though.
Yeah. I kind of want to go back and try out Grapes of Zamorak, Grapes of Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that picked up on Mike. Carter just screamed in his room.
I did not hear that, but it might be on the recording. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's picking up. He just screamed again. Yeah.
I think I heard that one.
Anyways, yeah, Tithe Farm. I might go back for Grapes of Wrath. We'll see. Some people have been telling me that I should just get Wines of Zamorak through PVM, but that was Mori, and Mori does Tob, so I don't want to hear it. I'm probably going to Tithe Farm because I have, like, it is insane. I have, like, 2,000-ish. Let me check my bank here. I have a lot of dwarf weed potions, and nowhere near as many wines. Not even close. I would have to do so much KQ, and that's, like, the only source beyond Tob. Let's be real for a second here.
I mean, Calvarion gives you a decent amount. Calvarion and Veyon.
I guess.
It's a 1 in 25 for...
Kind of busy, though. I don't know if I care enough.
That's fair.
I would be willing to do, like, small team Veyon. I don't know if I can be asked to do any of the solo bosses, I'll be honest. Unless I did revs and got a rev weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, solid
Tag
B.
form, yeah, B.
You know, it's not a solid B.
What a wacky one this one is.
You have to do it for like a diary at some point, I think.
Yeah, you have to do one game of Trouble Brewing for one of the Mauritania diaries.
I've been told like the minigame is fun if like you properly do it. No one does.
I got on a world. I was getting the stuff so I could get a Greenman's Ale M for my master clue, because you need a Greenman's Ale M for a fallow step. And you can get a thing called the stuff from Trouble Brewing, which makes it so that your production of alcohol has a significantly higher chance of being matured, which is like a weird, pretty useless mechanic.
Yeah.
But for that specifically, it was good. And I got into a match that had like real players that were like actually playing the game. I think there was like a group of people that probably just like got together in like a Discord or something, and they were just playing on the main world. And
interesting.
It was fun. It was like we got close matches. I was on the winning team every time, which popped off. And it wasn't crazy by any means. I wasn't like, wow, this is the most fun I've ever had in my life. But I wasn't like, wow, this is miserable. I was just like, okay, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I think this deserves a D tier then, probably, because it's like Castle Wars.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing. Not because it's like Castle Wars in that it doesn't live up to our childhood hype, but because it could be fun, but no one does it.
Yeah.
And the rewards are not very good.
Yeah. Pretty much the only people there are collection log enthusiasts that are trying to get all the cosmetics.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of cosmetics there.
There's so many of them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely I would be willing to give it low C, but it's probably worthy of a D.
Yeah, I think it goes in the second D there.
It's definitely right better than Castle Wars, because at least you can't really like grief this minigame.
Yeah. Volcanic Mine.
This one's pretty good.
I think this is like an easy A tier.
I would agree. I don't think this is quite S.
I almost said S, but then I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, it's not that good.
No, it's definitely not that good, but it's good, you know. You can grab a couple friends. You can pop into the Volcanic Mine. You can get some pretty good mining XP, and you can have a pretty good chance at pet.
You can get that's where you got your pet.
It's true. At like 3 million XP, kind of goes hard.
Yeah, it's like
and
the
now
best
you can get a dragon pickaxe.
XP.
You'll have to pay 1.5 mil, which probably isn't worth it, but you can.
Isn't it 2 mil?
Is it? I don't remember.
I think it's 2 mil.
It might be.
But yeah, no, the minigame's really easy to learn. It's not that bad.
It's pretty chill.
And you get like really good mining XP an hour. If you don't like tick manipulating, it's really good for that. You just sit and mine, and twice a game you have to go check. It's once every 5 minutes. And maybe you have to fix things, maybe you don't. You just have to pay attention to the timer. It's more AFK in that you're not clicking this. It's not AFK. You don't have to click the screen as much as you do when you're doing Motherlode Mine. But it's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fine. I'd give it an A. It is 2.5 mil, by the way, for the D pick.
Ugh.
For reference, at time of recording, Dragon Pickaxe on the GE is worth 1.4 mil. 1.457.
Holy, it's in the bin, boys!
Not quite on the scale of Dragon Axe yet, but it has gone down by a lot since the release of the Wilderness revamp, and also being added to the KQ table and to Volcanic Mine.
I'm realizing something now. I loaned my D pick to someone because I forgot to grab one for a raid. And I I never got it back, and I just never noticed because it's worth so little. I should double check. I don't think I got it back. Maybe they gave me money at the time for it. But I definitely have a placeholder for a D-pick in my bank. But that's fine. I'm already 99, so I don't care.
I wish I had one. Instead, I got a dragon sword from Callisto and a tyrannical ring from Callisto.
Wow.
Love those. Pretty awesome.
How do you feel about shades? Have you done shades?
Yeah, I've done a lot of shades. I have...
It seems ass.
I have the black locks. I have the silver locks. I went like 6 times dry for the bronze locks. Still don't have them.
Yeah.
Shades is C tier. It has functionality, especially if you're 95 fire making. It's a lot better than it used to be. It actually has any value to bring to the table at all because of the rework number of years ago now.
Yeah, it's good like fire making and prayer XP an hour for some reason.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say good. It's decent. But it's also like you make profit there, and it's a great way to get elite clues on a main.
You can get elite clues. The scrolls that you get to be able to make blood bark and swamp bark are neat. It's a weird niche piece of armor that they are apparently going to buff. They're going to buff the base stats of that armor, so it might be more valuable soon. We'll see. And then also the Zealot set, which everybody ever tells me is not worth getting, but I'm going to get anyways just off principle. It is
worth getting.
Yeah.
Absolutely worth getting.
So many people have told me that it's just not worth it. And while that is probably true, like for my account, it's probably not worth going to 95 and then grinding out all of this, having to kill all the shades myself, having to burn all of them, and then open all these locks to get each of them, which is a 1 in 128 per piece, I believe. True. Probably not worth it for the amount of effort that I put into the amount of extra prayer XP I get out. But
also,
I don't
like,
really
the
care.
set can be worn as, like magic prayer gear.
Yeah.
Like, when you're barraging.
It's a decent set. The bonus makes it so that you have is it 5% extra chance, I want to say?
Yeah, I think it's 5.
It's pretty bad. It's 5% chance to save bones or ensouled heads while training prayer. It provides a benefit, but also it just has a lot of prayer bonus, which makes it nichely useful for some accounts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Shades is better on a main account than it is on an iron, because mains don't have to interact with like the temple making thing and sanctifying oil.
Yeah, I have a lot of sanctified oil. Sanctifying oil doesn't take super long, honestly. You can crank a bunch of that oil out pretty fast.
Yeah.
But it is not fun. And then also you have to kill your own shades, and you have to gather all your own logs, and then you have to turn the logs into pyre logs, and then you have to burn the then you can interact with the same thing as the mains do.
Yeah, it seems so tedious just to get to the
which is why I give it a C.
And
then also the fucking interface for the coffin. The coffin.
Oh my god.
It's so bad.
I hate that you brought that up, because now I'm angry. Whoever made that needs to be fired, dude. Like, I don't care if they're a great developer now. The fact that they made that, I believe it's the same person that made
Giants Foundry.
That's a good mini. It's
very weird. But, like, you can kind of tell from Giants Foundry. Like, Giants Foundry has a very different UI than, like, anything else in the game.
Yeah.
And so does the coffin. Like, that person has a very different approach to the way the UI in RuneScape works. And in Giants Foundry, it works, and it's fine. But for the coffin, it's terrible. Please change it.
Like, it's just frustrating that you had to go through so many menus just to pull shades out.
Menus.
Like,
I should just be able to
right-click empty.
I should be able to just right-click empty it, and it just empties them in the same order that I put them in, which doesn't even matter because I probably put all of the same type of shade in it.
Treat it like the resource bag in Toa, you know?
Yeah.
First in, first out.
Or even just
Or
treat it like the plank set,
I don't
which
know.
I believe is the same.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
It's weird, and I hate it. C-tier minigame. I'm glad they improved it. I have some gripes with it, but it has some uses.
Yeah. Tayo Bawano clean up.
D-tier.
I agree.
D
I don't like doing it.
Gout tuber.
For this shit sucks. Yeah, you get it for a gout tuber.
D for dugout tuber.
You get a gout tuber during bingo because it's a tile and it takes you an hour and you kind of hated that you had to do that.
Yeah, or you do it because you're an ironman or you're a main that doesn't want to spend like $600K pretty early in their account for gout tuber.
Dude, it was like over $1 million for me when I did
How
it.
much is it? Let's take a look. Gout. 742K. It's up from when I had considered buying one on my main.
Yeah, it was like over $1 million when I did it as a main back in like 2020 or something.
That's funny.
2019. Yeah.
Yeah, this minigame is so boring. Provides little benefit. And you're really only
all
there
it does
for the
is make it so when you do your tree that's there, the well, I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, the Calquat, yeah. Whenever you go do
the Calquat,
there's some fucking asshole doing fucking Taiba 1 I clean up, so you get bound for like 1 second because the Voodoo victim is there.
It's just annoying.
Yeah, this minigame sucks.
Yeah.
But honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way at the same time.
The gauntlet's pretty cool, though.
This shit's S tier. Fuck all the haters.
I haven't done it, but it looks cool. I want to do it.
Iron Men hate me for saying that this minigame is S tier. There's so many Iron Men that are fucking sick of this now that both is in the game. I don't care, man.
Yeah.
The base concept of this minigame is still so fun.
It's their fault for being like, I'm going to just rush to do Song of the Elves and then get Bofa before I have like even basic gear and stats.
I'll be honest. For me, it was a complete accident that I did that. I just like Gauntlet, and I wanted to Song of the Elves rush and like do Gauntlet with janky stats, and I just happened to get pretty lucky with an enhanced weapon seed. My plan was not to rush Bofa. I was like, yeah, I'll do some Gauntlet from time to time just when I feel like it, and I'll have some fun, and then I'll just screw off and play the rest of my account.
Yeah.
I ended up getting pretty lucky and getting it early. And I'm sure there's some Iron Man out there that's malding right now that's like, oh, he got it early, that's why he likes it. No, I have done 600 KC of this on my main just because. I have 3 pets and no enhanced seed on my main. I just like this shit. It's fun to me, all right? Honestly, stay malding, all right?
He's a bit of a masochist. Yeah, no, I think
it's good content.
Seems good from what I've seen.
The minigame itself has a lot of fundamentals to teach you. The boss is very good. The prepping can be interesting if you treat it as a challenge to prep as quickly as possible. I've found it becomes a lot more fun. And you know, just have fun with it, man. Don't treat it as an obligation to get your Bofa so that you can progress your account way faster than you should. Just have some fun with it. Maybe you get the drop, maybe you don't. This minigame gets so much of a bad rep because Bofa exists now, and every Iron Man ever just wants to get Bofa.
Yeah, everyone complains when they don't get absolutely spoon-fed full Bofa plus Crystal, you know?
Yeah. I'm still going to go back and get Blade of Saildor, because I just think Blade of Saildor is cool. And I want Pet, because the Pet was the first pet I got in Old School now.
Apparently, all the bosses from the new from Desert Treasure 2 are going to be Slash Week.
Yo, let's go.
Or at least some of them are.
I'm getting my Blade
Someone told me
right
that.
now.
I don't know if it's true or not, but
yeah, no, we'll see. I probably wouldn't grind Blade for that. And I have told myself that I will not be seriously grinding Gauntlet again until I get Rigor.
Fair.
So I've got a while before I go back. The only reason I've gone back recently is because Snake has been eating all of my crystal armor charges, and it's my best method of getting crystal shards because I refuse to click on elves.
How do you feel about the Warriors Guild? I think it's pretty solid.
It's all right.
Like a B tier.
It's like low B, high C for me. It's not particularly offensive, but I'm not particularly excited to go do it either. I think it's probably a C for that.
I don't know. I like...
Defenders are very iconic. The grind isn't like super tedious.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like...
Do we consider the shops inside the Warriors Guild part of this? Because
I guess. I don't know. The description is various different minigames allow the player to train melee skills and earn Warriors Guild tokens, which can be used to enter the Cyclops chambers, where Cyclopses can be killed for defenders.
I think we only count the minigames and the Cyclopses.
Yeah.
Cyclopi?
I would agree.
Yeah. I can be convinced that it's C tier.
Yeah. Because, like, we've put all the, like, other stuff that, like, isn't particularly exciting, but also is pretty inoffensive there. So I'd say Warriors Guild probably lands cleanly in C tier. Probably, like, high C tier. Very good reward. Usually not that bad of a grind. Even if you're going dry, it's usually not, like, awful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... Like, I went there again recently because I needed a bunch of dragon defenders to risk in the wilderness. And I was just like, cool. Yeah, just spent like 5 hours there, got a bunch of D defenders.
Just kind of AFK it.
Yeah, I wasn't terribly upset that I had to do that. I went kind of dry for my first one.
Champion scroll from Cyclopses as well?
I think so. Cyclopses. Maybe?
I don't know.
I
feel like I remember you can.
Only from the Artie Zoo. The other ones don't.
Cringe.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, C tier.
Whatever. Me. Yeah. On to the very last category, the miscellaneous. Some stinkers in here.
Birthorpe Games Room, easy S. This shit goes hard.
This
shit's funny. I don't know. It's probably more like a B or an A, or maybe even a C. But
it's funny. They moved the Birthorpe Game Room, like the things you can do there, to the GE.
There's some in the GE now as well.
Yeah, but like nobody does it at either location.
I mean, there's no reason to, right? There's no benefit to doing it. It's just kind of a silly thing that you can do. So that's why I'd probably say realistically this is probably like a C tier.
I think it's a D tier. I think it fits with the other Ds in that like it's just kind of stinky and it exists and no one does it. Like it's not particularly fun. It's like tic-tac-toe and Connect 4.
Listen, man. I'll kick your ass in RuneLink, alright? For me, this one's a C tier. For the reason I have the other ones in D tier is because they have actual rewards that make me tempted at all to do them, and then they're also terrible. So,
yeah, that's fair.
Birthorpe Games Room has no reward whatsoever. You can just do it if you want.
Rat Pits, I think, is like an F tier.
This is so bad.
It's so not fun to
There's
even
no mechanics
think
to this,
with.
Man. There's it's just...
And the amount of money you can gamble on it is like...
It's like 10 GP
joke.
or something.
I think it's like 1,000 GP.
It's not 10 GP, but it...
How
did this get into the game? Even back then.
Yeah.
Like, what was going on?
Sorry, you can bet 20k. It's minimum 100.
Ooh, dang.
Maximum 20k. and you can give your cat strategies, but like, I think there's only like one strategy that's worth doing, and I don't remember what it is. But you have to be wearing a cat speak amulet for it.
I don't know, man. I don't know anything about this minigame other than it sucks. I don't want to know anything about this minigame other than it sucks. F.
Yeah, it's not good. Tears of Guthix, I think, is just
S-tier, let's go! Woo!
No,
free
it's just
XP!
Dailyscape.
Yeah!
It's free XP, but it's just like, alright, time to go do your weekly tiers.
Yeah, it's whatever. The C tier.
I don't know.
Maybe low B.
I'll put it in B.
It is only beneficial. You don't have to do it, and it doesn't take very long.
Yeah, but it's like one of the things that like I dislike about MMOs, which is do these things on a timer. You know, each week you log in and you have a checklist, a shopping list of things you have to do before you can actually like engage in the content you want to do.
RuneScape's fine with it. There's like very, very few things that are worth doing.
Yeah.
For weeklies, the only thing I do is obviously I do my tiers whenever I see the reminder, and then that is also my reminder to go check my Kingdom of Miscellanea. And that's it. And then every day when I feel like it, I'll do a farming run. That's about it. That's all I'll do.
That's fair. Yeah, Kingdom and
keeps it manageable for me.
Tiers are both kind of annoying for me. Because, like, those are the two dailies that I should be doing because they're beneficial to me. But I hate doing them. So I almost never do.
They're kind of whatever.
Yeah.
I don't mind it so much. I've gotten kind of in the routine of it, so.
Alright.
It also helps for Kingdom if you actually do it every week, because you don't have to forget about it for a month and then spend like 8 years raking weeds and cutting logs because you lost all your favor.
That's true, yeah. When I do it more often, it's less terrible, but
that's not a minigame, so that doesn't even matter. We're done.
Yeah.
You rated all of them. Every single minigame that is listed on the wiki.
Linked in the description. I'll put it on like Imgur or Twitter or something. Probably Twitter. Cool. I'll also post it on the Discord with no context.
And then I'll when I get around to making the YouTube version in 6 years, I'll probably make a better looking one.
Yeah. I think it'd be funnier if you just posted my version.
I'll probably put it on there, but I will also probably make it like a better version that I like slowly add them to over time, you know?
But yeah, I think for the most part, the minigames are just okay.
Yeah.
There's a few standout ones.
There's a couple of them that go hard, and there's a couple of them that suck real bad.
Yeah. I think people have like a really negative perception of minigames though, just because of the ones that really suck.
And most of the time, it's people that like haven't done Barbarian Assault properly, so they think that sucks.
Yeah, they don't engage with the minigame.
They hate Gauntlet because they are trying to get both. Volcanic Mine is scary, so it's bad to them. Hallowed Sepulchre's hard. Giant's Foundry requires too much thinking, shit like that.
Yeah.
But overall, there's some bangers in here.
Yeah, I think that the good ones are good, and Jagex should keep making good minigames.
Yeah, all the newer ones are not terrible.
Inferno, Guardians of the Rift, Hallowed Sepulchre, Gauntlet, Volcanic Mine, Mahogany Homes, Giant's Foundry, the Zarket Rack challenges. Basically everything that's like higher up in the tier list, I'm realizing, is things that are
it's the
pretty
new stuff.
new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they actually know what the player base nowadays wants and finds fun.
The only thing that isn't high up that's new is Amir's Arena.
Well,
so
that one has a long and complicated history that's for another time.
Yeah. But I think that's it this week. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to follow us on Spotify or wherever you're listening. Give us a thumbs up or rate us well, or leave a comment if you're able to do so.
Rate 5 stars on YouTube. Let's go.
I miss when you could rate stars on YouTube.
Classic.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, I will eventually get around to editing these episodes again. I'm just going hard on Zora right now, so...
Yeah, follow us on whatever podcast listening platform you're listening to us on. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies.
Tell everybody, man. Just start walking around the street
everyone.
And be like, yes! Guthix Rest podcast. Have like the little crier bell. Guthix Rest podcast releasing every... What day to be released? Tuesday?
Tuesdays.
Tuesday! Just, you know.
If you like us and you want to support us, you can give us a one-time donation at Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/GuthixRest. If you want to give us a more recurring donation, you can do so at patreon.com/GuthixRest, where I will post the episodes early whenever I finish editing them. This week was a little rough, so I didn't finish the last episode until 2 a.m, so I didn't post it early. I'm considering whether or not I want to go forward with doing censoring on it. I don't know. People say they think it's funny and they like it, but I've also received some negative feedback, so maybe I'll just not do it.
If you receive some negative feedback, they should pay and get the uncensored one.
True. But, you can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/GuthixRest, where I post RuneScape stuff sometimes, or you can follow us on our personal Twitter accounts, linked below.
My Twitter goes hard.
You can also follow on YouTube when Bird eventually goes around.
Yes, sir.
Doing that.
One of these weeks, there's just going to be an episode like every day until I catch up.
I look forward to it. I'm just not going to hear from Bird for a week, and then we're going to like record the episode, and he's just going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, all the episodes are up. And I'll be like, oh, okay, because I don't check the YouTube. I have no reason to. Go catch it.
I'm going to get it.
But also, we now have a Discord. You can join it and talk to us if you want. That'll be linked in the description, because I'm not going to read a Discord URL out, but I post nothing yet, but there's a bot that posts stuff whenever I post things elsewhere.
That's awesome.
And maybe once we have people in here, we can hang out, play RuneScape. Want to do some raids? This is a great way to maybe convince me to raid.
If you want to do PVM with our dumb asses, now you can.
Yes.
Probably only sometimes, though.
Yeah. I have a weird schedule, so I think that's all the shilling that I need to do.
If it's not, there's a Linktree. Find us wherever you want to find us.
Yeah. Get your ear holes ready for next week, by the way. I'm predicting there's not going to be an interesting update, so I am possibly going to have a guest on.
Yeah, we managed to pull this one out of our asses. This is actually like a 2-hour, 30-minute podcast now, so...
Dude, I'm going to hate editing this, by the way.
Sucks to suck. So am I, but that's not going to happen for a while, so not my problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Thanks for listening. And can we get a bird fact before we go?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm making you do this every week.
I'm going to forget every single week. I don't know why. I got kiwis on the mind. Kiwis are a type of bird. They're not just a type of fruit. These little two-legged little dinosaur guys. They got long beaks and they're flightless.
They kind of look like kiwis.
A little bit. They're brown and fluffy. They're a little fluffier than your average kiwi, but
they're so adorable though.
Small little guys, native to New Zealand. They have often been observed to be naturally blind. They just kind of don't really need their sight to survive, and so a lot of them have just lost their sense of sight and continued to live and reproduce, and so a lot of them are just naturally blind.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
I'll give you a bird fact. Kiwi eggs are like as big as the kiwi bird.
Yeah, they're big boys.
Like
they're nearly the size of they're close to being the size of like ostrich eggs. Well, yeah, not quite, but
just like Google kiwi bird egg and like look at pictures of like the skeleton of a kiwi bird with the egg inside. It's massive. It's like the whole bird.
They got to put a whole bird in there.
True. Anyways, thank you for listening, and bye-bye!
See ya!